what up, everybody? Happy Friday. What is going on? All three and a half of us. What's going on, gentlemen?
Hi.
What's going on?
You son of a
You got
bitch.
doing?
Son of a bitch. I was
You gave
doing
me
better
the
till I
hammer.
just lost an eardrum.
You gave me the hammer.
um, so as we can see, we have a truncated squad with us tonight. A couple guys are out on location and doing the Lord's work. And another one is, I don't know, doing something else so we get to look at Grimlock. But we were able to get Super Brinkalizer in the house tonight on a Friday, which is wild as fuck to me. But welcome, Brink.
Welcome. Yeah, I thank you for having me. I didn't get my quota of podcasting in this week because
Gotcha.
Ace was not feeling well and we
Oh,
had to cancel figure banging.
poor
So,
guy.
under contract, um, I thought I would have to put in overtime maybe next week or a couple weeks from now, but just so happens he hit me up, so you want to be on the show? I was like, okay, so I don't have to put in that overtime now because here I'm filling in, doing my stuff. I
Nice.
don't
Well,
even have to have the curtain open. It's great.
that's
It's
it.
like
We get to
podcast light. Yeah.
turn on, light a little candle, have some incense going, just chill and relax. We're laid back around here. We don't know how to act right.
Yeah, I figured that out in the pre-show.
Yeah, as y'all can see, we were a little late getting in here. We like to have an issue and then compound it with a secondary issue. He started out with little technical difficulties. I want to go jump in here, and my computer didn't want to turn on because it's Friday night and right in my ear. Luckily, we had Derek to say a bunch of gibberish stuff at me until it got to working. Um, and
15
we're here.
seconds. Hold it down.
Hold it down and then make sure you have it plugged in, dummy. All
That's
that
right,
good
man.
stuff. I went through all that.
You might have had a BitLocker update or something.
Yeah, my Bitcoin locked up or something. I don't know. I don't know nothing about. What do I know about computers?
I
What do
did
I look like?
not call
Bill
you a
Gates.
dummy. Did not call you a dummy, sir.
I can call somebody a dummy without ever
Called,
saying the word dummy. They'll know I'm
called you
calling
a,
them a dummy.
called you a big dummy.
Big dummy. Yeah, big dummy. Calm down, meathead. We're gonna go 70. We're gonna go 70s, 80s comedy on each other. Calm down, meathead.
I love it.
So we're gonna. I will just kind of talk and see. Brink kind of give us a rundown of his a little bit of his podcasting. But how was the rest of your week? Anything cool? Anything fun?
Um, cool and fun. Well, my company's going through a reduction in force.
Oh,
Um, and fortunately, my team is getting through unscathed. So that's good. We do good work. We're very important. But unfortunately, um, not everybody gets to escape that kind of stuff. So I actually got a directive to work from home for the next week and a half because they're like, Brian, I'm starting. What was they in on Tuesday? They're like, starting tomorrow. They're gonna start letting people know and stuff. And well, you don't need to be around to see that. And I was like, yeah, I don't. So, well, a little bit sad times. Got some morale issues, but other than that, the week's been pretty good. I have added now a new permanent dish to my repertoire. I'll probably add it to the bi-weekly cycle. But for those of you in the Realm of Cooks Facebook group, I I did a what the heck was it? A sweet chili glazed
the,
bratwurst dish.
yeah, the
Dude.
bratwurst thing. Yeah.
So I've been in on these bratwursts for a while. My grocery store had them on sale a while ago, and I like really deep discount. I don't know what the hell the deal was, so I bought a bunch and froze them, and so I cook them on my George Foreman grill first, and then I heat up this sweet chili condiment something something, from
Mm-hmm.
the ethnic aisle. I don't know what
Mm-hmm.
else to call it,
The
right?
la choy.
And yeah, I kind of put them in the pot and got it all hot and bubbly, and of course made my favorite thing in the world, which is like roasted broccoli. Dude, it's fucking great, man. I am gonna be cooking that for a long time.
it,
And yeah,
yeah, it did look good. I was trying to figure out, like, because what I do, I was trying to build the flavor in my head, and I'm like, man, that the bratwurst is the wild card in that kind of. bratwursty taste, and I'm like, okay, get
Yeah,
that.
so
Sweet
what's
Thai
interesting
chili.
is the thing with the bratwurst is there's different kinds you can get,
Hmm.
but I got smoked bratwurst. I think it was like
Okay.
Hillshire Farms or one of
Hmm.
those, right? Johnsonville's. And so when you crisp up the skin on those smoked ones, it gets kind of like a sweet type of thing going on.
Okay.
And yeah, man, it was awesome.
It's
So
definitely something
yeah,
I want to try out. It looked
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. You know, and protein's freaking expensive nowadays. So like, dude, like the stuff that goes on sale, I just kind of stock up on that. You know, it's like I save real meat, which is like steak, I guess,
Real meat.
for if I'm gonna splurge and get a nice meal at a restaurant. Like I haven't cooked steak at home in a long time, but that and even chicken thighs have gone up in price. And my grocery store does a thing where it's like if you want the good price on chicken thighs, you gotta buy a lot of them. It's like buy one get one free. I'm like, dude, what the hell am I gonna do with all this stuff? I freezing thighs forever.
Chicken thighs for a year
So
and a half at Brink's house.
I know, I know. And other than that, yeah, things are good. Just doing my charts and stuff. And I don't know if you guys are like, I'm just gonna there, ease back. I don't have to fill more time anymore. But I was gonna talk about sunglasses. Uh, do you, I don't know about you guys. Are you particular about your sunglasses or not? But these are knockarounds that were free give me's from my sister when I was in her wedding party like 8 years ago. And
Nice.
these aren't like the nicest ones, but like all the plastic is starting to blister around them
Hmm.
and stuff like that. So I picked up a new pair. So I'm pretty happy about that.
The
Can't wait
fact
to
that you have a
ship
pair
those out
8 years
tomorrow.
old, I don't. My pairs don't even make it through summer without me losing them. So
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
I have a pair of glasses, and I got them at like just kind of auto parts or something. They're not like any kind of brand or anything, but my requirement is they have to be straight armed because I don't like them looping behind my ear, and they have to not squeeze my nose. So I found this pair that I liked it, checked all my boxes, and so I just bought three pairs. I have one in my car, one in my wife's car, and one in the house just in case I go in somebody else's car. So I have the exact same sunglasses no matter where I go at all times.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's what I get. I find a pair that I like, and I just ride them until the wheels fall off them, and then I find another pair.
Yeah, I do usually lose them and stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
I hate buying like the really cheap ones like at the gas station. Some they just never
Mm-hmm.
fit right. I think
Yeah,
once I found a really good pair, but
and those ones usually fall apart real quick, or the tint will start to peel. It's weird. Like it's almost like they're tinted
yeah.
windows. It's not
But,
the lenses.
so yeah,
Who is Mr. Smiley? Oh, you. Okay. Trying to figure out Mr. Smiley. Got it.
Mrs.
You can't
Uh,
tell.
yeah.
like
So,
I like my camera's on. Like you can't tell.
well, I didn't see it down in your corner. Like I hadn't been. Anyways, so appreciate that, Brink. Fill a little bit of time. My dude got his minutes in for the week, so we're helping fill
Yeah.
out his punch card. Derek, let's hit you up, man. Let's see what you've been up to.
What's up, party people? So, you know, I was all right until I'm floating around and I got to know, y'all know how I post out this show to the different groups because I've already talked to them. They say, hey, yeah, go, we love y'all. Go on and do that. One group just deleted it, so I'm a little thrown off by
Well,
that.
we don't
So
we don't allow self promotion in the realm, so probably Dust deleted it.
No, it
it's
wasn't
not
in the
even.
realm.
No, he
It's
posted in a
not
different
real.
realm. Hmm.
That was
No,
a
it was
joke,
different.
people.
Yeah, I got you. Because we'd be
If
promoting our own
that
shit in
happened,
there.
I'm gonna be handling that fight. But yeah,
Oh,
anyway,
I got no problem saying yeah. It was the cafe that deleted our post.
I was gonna say it's a
so
place you get coffee, but if you want to throw them out there, we'll put them out there.
hey,
Welcome,
look,
Hive
wretched,
all this
what was the
time, and
term?
wretched
all of a
hive,
sudden I can't post in your group. All right,
scum
that's
and
cool.
villainy.
That's
Well,
cool.
maybe
What
they
I
only
will
want sales
talk to
posts
y'all
then.
later. Yeah. So,
Well,
but no, I've been having a good week. It's been cool. It's been quiet. It was a quiet week this week. My stuff finally came in from Transformer Convention in LA, and
Weren't you
yeah, I was,
physically there?
huh?
Weren't you physically at that convention?
I was,
you
So, oh,
shipped
you
it to
shipped your
yourself
stuff
from
back.
LA.
I got you. I got you. I
yeah,
got you. Got you.
shipped my
I'm
stuff
picking up what
back.
you're doing
Yeah,
Probably
yeah, yeah.
cheaper than trying to get them on the flight.
now. Got you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
okay.
It was this time around. But the aggravating wait because the help. Come to find out, the hotel actually held that stuff for like 3 days
before they ship it.
before they said, "Oh yeah, we got the stuff back here, and we got to get to the UPS guy." So and they had it in a room, locked up in a room, along with my stuff and along with some other people's stuff. And I didn't do a rental there. If I had done a rental, I would have taken it to the UPS store myself. I did all my own shipping and everything because I brought my scale and printer and all that with me. As y'all know, I was picking up stuff for other people too. So to save on shipping, I brought my stuff, my shipping stuff, so I can use my account and charge everybody like low cost shipping because that's what I did. The one thing I didn't appreciate was people hit me up at the last minute. Hey, did you go to 30 booth to see if they got any more of those exclusives? I was like, all right. Oddly enough, every time I went back, they still had more. They didn't now, so they didn't sell out. I was shocked. I was shocked that they didn't sell out.
I
But
wasn't that shocked.
they were close. No, I'm sorry. They sold out of Optimus.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, they sold out of Optimuses. They had like a few Megatrons. They had a few Megatrons left, and they had a bunch of Bumblebees. I,
Yeah.
was- I said, "Yo, that's funny to me, man," because I would have thought the Bumblebee would have went first, but I guess
I mean,
the kids love Bumblebee, and with the
yeah.
price that it was,
To be fair, I mean
not
Optimus
It's not
is
a
buying.
kid's
Optimus.
toy.
Megatron
Yeah,
had the curly cues and he shouldn't have, and that Bumblebee just didn't look very good. I mean,
yeah.
it's
I
just
mean, the Bumblebee was literally it was a repaint of the original one that
well,
they did.
they were all repaints,
Yeah, it was a cliff
from what
jumper,
I can
wasn't
Yeah,
see.
they were all
Yeah.
repaints, but
it?
yeah. But if you into that animated field, they're great figures. I have them, and they were great figures. So
Did you buy that super cool pink Kiss player tape?
no,
You're not a
no,
real fan.
there's no room. There's no room for that up here. Come on, man.
Come on,
You know
Blaster's
what
your
I got
boy.
behind.
Blaster's your boy. You got to get all his tapes.
There's always room
Uh,
somewhere.
them dudes. That tape was an infiltrator, and
Hey,
that's a Kiss player tape, and I'm not down. I'm
I
not.
got I got an Autobot Scout tape up there for my Soundwave.
Nothing against Kiss player fans. I'm not
Oh,
trying to start that
I
up.
got something against all of y'all Kiss player fans. You bunch of perverts.
So
You guys are fighting with the Kiss Army right now. I wouldn't do that
So
if
uh,
I were you.
so
that's
so
why I wanted to put that out there. Hey, look, y'all do
See
your
that?
own
Don't
thing,
pick a fight with the Kiss Army.
right?
so
Yeah.
so is it really Kiss players? I thought it was like from something else, but no, I
So
don't know.
the no, it's from
I thought
the,
Kiss
the
players was
one from
human girls.
it's themed after them though. It was themed up. The
Oh,
pink one was
oh,
themed after them.
I got it. I got it. I
So
got it.
yeah, but the other one because it was two one. It was a red and white one, and then there was the pink one that they had there that was actually came in the kit with the Cheetor variant of Chrome Dome
Yes.
from IDW.
Yeah,
So that was
it's the
sold at BotCon
IDW
last year.
rewind. Yeah, it was
Right.
the
That
IDW
was
rewind.
right. That was BotCon last year. So yeah, but nah, that was cool. So my stuff finally came and got to play with my stuff.
What about the
I
purple
haven't
scissor
opened
jet? Did you get that?
every. Yeah, I did. I
You got the
did.
purple scissor jet?
Yeah, I got that. I didn't open it up yet though. So
Don't just sell it. Put it in a raffle.
got two. So got an extra one. So yeah, I'm thinking about that. I ended up having an extra one because I thought I was gonna do a raffle for it, but I was like, man, no. I did. I bought I bought two extras by mistake. So I have an extra one that I'm gonna have to sell at some point. So
How do you accidentally buy a $200 hunk of crappy plastic? I don't understand how you
it
accidentally
was
do that.
it was a long story. I did a lot of back and forth, and it was a whole lot going on in LA. So yeah.
So,
But
Derek, were you able to go both days, or were you able to scalp your pass for that second day?
there's no scalping of passes. They don't give you lanyards. They give you wristbands. So
Oh,
you got to wear
cut
that
it,
wristband the
tape
entire
it, or
weekend.
something.
Nah, they
Get
weren't.
some oil, just get it off of there.
Not
Pocket
that
thumb
serious.
out of its socket.
promise it's not that serious.
Slide the
So
sandal.
yeah, but yeah, Sunday was really bananas because that's the only day they had Welker and Welker and Cullen there. Peter Peter Welker and Frank Cullen. Yeah, that's the only day that they had them there. And you're you're on mute or something. Yeah, I couldn't hear you what you said.
I said, dude, I'm hoping you did that on purpose, and you're joking right now.
Did what on purpose?
Peter Weller and Frank Cullen.
That's their names on it.
Nope,
Well,
it is
Peter Weller is
Frank
a real
Welker and
person.
Peter Cullen.
I know that, man. Come on.
I was hoping you did that on purpose, man. You did
I
not.
did do that on purpose. So yeah.
No,
But
you
yeah, they
didn't.
were only there on Sunday, so it was packed to the brim. And I had people for that wanted to just come in on Sunday trying to get admission and couldn't get it. It was a long line outside, and it was well, you should have bought your passes online early. So it was crazy, man. It was crazy. But anyway, but it's good to be back. Good to
Hey,
be back.
Freddie Mercury said you didn't do that on purpose. He's looking you right in the eye. Said you accidentally did that.
As soon as I go off.
You got something in your eye, Derek.
Yeah, I know.
Trying to get woke up a little, folks. It's been a long week, man. I'm trying to wake up some. Trying to wake up. Trying to wake up. So I'm glad you had a good trip, man. Sound like you bought a bunch of crap. I mean, stuff.
I was triple beam dreaming. Wes, I was triple beam dreaming.
Never
Triple
get high on your
beam
own
lyrical
supply.
speed.
Yeah.
I be that.
All right. So Mr. Smiley. Does that make me slim tonight? I'm slim and he's Mr. Smiley.
No, I was watching the Roadhouse remake before the
Gotcha.
show, and one of the guys called Dalton Mr. Smiley, and I thought it was kind of funny. So,
Gotcha.
but we'll get into that later. No,
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask you, but
it,
it's
it,
not good.
it's been an interesting week. Luckily, I was off today. Work is really starting to pick up for the first time in like 2 years since I've been there. Um, but besides that, no, not much going on. Haven't gotten any. I don't think I got anything in this week. I had to step away because I forgot to do the dishes, and I didn't want my wife to walk in and still see the dishes there. Then she gets upset, and I got to deal with her being upset. And
Not even joking or being
mm,
sarcastic. Good hubby time, man. You gotta be
oh,
smart about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, pick those battles.
happy wife, happy life.
That's it.
Um, and she's had a rough week, and we've been had we had a bit of an issue with my daughter's school this week, so she's upset. My daughter's been upset, so I'm gonna make sure when she gets home today, everything's all right. So
Smart, smart.
yeah, but besides that, another week down, and who knows how many left I have to go.
Man, that sounded really
Well, I'm just saying, like just another week. No, nothing special
scary.
this week.
Nice. Fun times.
Yeah.
I need everybody to calm down. We're way too pumped up tonight. Way too pumped up. This is like we gotta do something. What's going on? We need to wake up. We need to do some calisthenics on air or something.
It's all right. I also just
Huh?
watched the
Okay,
Roadhouse
you asked me
movie,
to. So
What happened,
and
Brink?
I also just watched the Roadhouse movie before we did this, and so yeah, I'm
Everybody's
it put
depressed
it,
from
it put
watching
it put me
Roadhouse.
down.
That might be, yeah, maybe.
This is
You know,
that would have been a great show name, The Roadhouse Blues. That would have been
yeah.
a great episode title tonight. There you go.
Brink says the first 50 minutes were good. I'd say about I'd cut that in half. Maybe the first 20, 25. I was like, all right, this isn't too bad, and then it just like,
It was an interesting premise.
Y'all missed
It
Derek do
wasn't
one push
exactly
up.
cookie cutter from the first movie to this one.
I was
Um,
7, you fucker.
and I was digging it. I was digging it. I thought Jake Gyllenhaal was holding it down, but then they brought in the anti good guy, the bad guy, I guess. And I was like, oh god.
All
It's,
right.
Okay,
Well,
so I
I
got
think we're gonna talk about this in a little bit. So
yes, but
let's hold it.
anybody that watches this back later, just pay attention to Derek Scream and tell me if you actually thought he was doing a push up or maybe it looked another kind of way because you were live on the internet doing some weird stuff over there, bud.
Trying to get the blood flowing. You asked me. You asked me, to get
Play it back,
excited, get more
play it back,
energetic.
and watch what we saw on your screen, and then say that sentence again.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be okay. So we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
talk about Roadhouse in a little bit. I guess
Well,
I'll
not
just ask
necessarily
myself how
Roadhouse,
my
but
week was. My week
Ricky,
was
yes. How
okay.
has your week been, Ricky?
It's been a long, rough week. I've got to do pop the cherry on a couple things I'd never done before. I got to uh my my boss says it a whole different kind of way, but I got to terminate somebody for not doing their job correctly and messing around too much. My job said my boss always like said, let them fire themselves. You just sit back and watch it happen type thing. Um it was not fun. It was crazy because I told my boss, and some of y'all will get this. Like as a brain exercise, my brain was interested in it because I've never been on that end of that situation before. And I wanted to see how it would play out. And my boss kind of looked at me weird. I'm like, no, no, don't go think I'm just going to run around firing people. That's not what I'm saying. It's my brain wants to see how that plays out, just the same as it wants to see somebody heading down the wrong road and I help them correct their course and get back on track again. I want to see that as well. I've already got to hire people in. So like it's just things that I've never done before. My brain's just like, that's interesting and new. Let's check that off the box. Um, it still kind of sucks because I'm kind of an empathetic person. So I hate the thought of the personalization of it. Like, you gotta go home without money now and you probably have family or whatever. Um, I don't like that part of it, but at the end of the day, it was really nothing I can do. Like I tried every day with this person. There were no call, no showing, left and right, coming in and just like playing on their phone, watching people work. Like there was nothing I could do. These people have security cameras all over my place because of the facility that I work in. We have to worry about what they call elopements, like people wandering off.
Oh,
Um,
because you're senior living facility.
mhm, and Alzheimer, dementia, and stuff. So they have cameras literally everywhere because if somebody gets out and gets lost, they have to track it step by step, minute by minute, to try to find a direction to go. And they pulled these cameras up and they watched this person. They said, "Oh, I was only on my 15-minute break," and then they watched them like go out to their car, get in their car, drive away, wait to let the dump truck get by them, go around the dump truck, and then leave property while on the clock, be gone for 45 minutes, come back in, go back into the kitchen with food that they just went got from a restaurant, eating it in the kitchen, like over a garbage can, like a hobo. And like they were like, "Oh, I was only on my 15-minute break," and they like we tracked you minute by minute for 45 minutes of you not even being on premises. So how was that a 15-minute break?
maybe
Like,
there's a backup at the drive-through.
yeah, maybe, but it was from the Wawa, so there's no backup. You just walk in and
Oh,
get it. But it was weird. It was like I said, it was interesting because it was new, but it felt weird to be on that end of it and try to be calm and not get too pissy because they were like lashing out, trying to act like it was everything but them. Had a no call, no show today while we're doing our state inspections. So I had to fly up to work and spend all day up there cooking and stuff like that. And I think my shortest day this week has been 9.5 hours at work. Um, Luckily, this is the first time I've had to do anything like I used to do, like cooking and aiding or anything like that. This is the first time I've had to do that. Um, and no, not even close. The village is about 45 minutes from my house, Joe. Calm down. I'm not out there with your peoples. Um, but we also had baseball. We had a couple games this week. Played the same team twice. On paper, they're the best team in the league. We beat them on Tuesday, 7-4. Nope, 7-3. We beat them by 4, 7-3. And then Thursday, we were down a couple of our key players, and they decided that was the time to pay us back for Tuesday, and they beat us like 11-4 or some crap like that. I mean,
Mm.
they washed the boards with us.
Damn.
It was a rough Thursday. Was rough. Um,
Yeah. How'd he
It's
take it though?
Isaac was okay with it, like because he did good. Man, he had it was probably one. Like kids like to do that superstar. They purposely try to look cool while they're doing something.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always told, I was like, look, man, we're not out here on baseball cards. You're not going to be on Sports Center. Just play
Mm-hmm.
baseball.
Right.
But he had one of the coolest, and it was not him trying. It just happened to be in the moment. Kid bunted, um, and Isaac ran up to get it, and it was rolling, and he reached down to grab it barehanded, and he started to fall. And while falling, he just twisted and just wham threw it straight to first base, got the kid out. It was like that's
Wow.
the coolest thing I think I've ever seen you do. I wish I recorded it.
Yeah.
Like it was like
Man,
really
that's
cool. It
a
was like
highlight reel right
it
there.
was a perfect throw, hit the kid dead in the glove. Like it was awesome. Like it was one of the nicest things that he's ever, like, coolest looking things he's ever done out there.
Those are those special moments in baseball
Yeah,
too, man. In
yeah.
general, when you
I mean,
do moves
we
like
don't do Sports Center in Little League, but if we did that, that would have made the reel. It
that. Mm-hmm.
was on it.
So,
He did good. He had some good at bats. I think he was what was he, 4 for 5 with 2 walks. I
mm,
mean, it wasn't. He was doing pretty good out there. He had a beautiful bunt, and the other kid. We had 0 outs. Guy on second and third. I'm the third base coach when we're up to bat, and I told the kid, I was like, "We're gonna, you're running. Like, I have to keep yelling at them. If I say go, by the time the O comes out of my mouth, you should be halfway down the baseline. Like, I don't want you waiting for me to finish the word. I say go, you just get it." And Isaac bunted, and it freaking was perfect. Just dropped dead center and just started slowly rolling towards the pitcher. Like it was beautiful. And the kid took off. I told him to go, and then the pitcher was really fast and got to the ball, and the kid got scared, thought the pitcher was going to get him out. And I'm like, dude, it was a sacrifice play. They have to go for the guy at first. They're not going to go for you. But he turned around and ran back, and of course they got the guy out at first. I'm like, dude, if you ever do that again, like, you just gave away a point. Like, it was
mm,
crazy. Eventually I got him to steal. It worked out eventually, but Isaac was mad because he's like, I sacrificed for nothing. I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry,
wow.
dude. I did tell him to go. It's not my fault. He came back. But yeah, Isaac was on it, man. He's having a pretty decent season so far.
That's what's up.
Um,
That's good.
we're
That's good.
we're 2-2. Um, so we're okay. We're not the best. We're not the worst. We're almost middle of the heap. So we're getting there. Still, what, third week of the season? We still got ways to go, so it'll be okay. But it's been a fun week. Stressful at work, but glad to. Ironically, I am glad to be here to talk to you guys tonight, just because I get to be off and hang out for a little bit.
Working tomorrow?
Um, no, sir. Ricky has weekends off. I am living that boss life Monday through Friday, dude. Um, so I only have to go in if it's a dire emergency. So pretty much off, and we had travel ball practice in the morning, but they have heavy rains coming in, so they canceled it and pushed it till Sunday afternoon to let the fields dry up. So just chilling. That's pretty much it. Got some stuff in the mail. We're going to talk about a couple of them here in a little bit. Got some other stuff coming in the mail. All the shipping notifications went out for that metalhead wave where everything was in it. um Recondo, I got tagged for my Recondo is on its way or shipping soon or something like that. So it's it's ups and downs, goods and bads. Just happy to be here with you guys. I didn't have time to make a drink beforehand, so I'm just sipping tea. So as soon as this gets over, I'm gonna get into my whiskey and make this night a lot better.
All right. Well,
All right.
um, we had our other segment lined up today, but then when Gort and Wolf decided to be like they didn't care and want to be here tonight, um, we're pivoting to an old school showcase that Ricky is going to do right now. And yeah, we're not playing the intro, so Ricky, there you go.
Derek, do it.
Rick don't got the keys.
It's
No, but
time for the collector's showcase.
we don't need you to click buttons, bro. We'll just reenact
Yeah.
the whole thing.
PayPal pound me $20, I'll push that button.
Derek, I'm sending you 10. Hit him with a whole 20.
You got it.
Come on, let's go.
All right.
Check is in
So
the mail.
that's right. Just wait on it. It'll be there eventually. Second Tuesday next week. I figured I'd talk about these. It was a real quick. I was like, hey, I could just talk about this because they came in. 60th anniversary GI Joe figs came in. Um, they are next level. I love them. I really kind of wish this is the infantry builder. Um, I wish I got two of each, two infantry, two of the naval scuba team, recon team. I wish I'd gotten more. They're really cool. Like all the pouches and
Mm.
stuff are removable. It's all modular, so you can take these off, and they have other ones that you can switch on and put on there.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Ooh,
it's pretty
smart.
cool. It is for those that don't know, it is supposed to be the classified representation of the old school 12-inch Joes, where
Mm.
they just had an army, a navy, an air force, and a marine that just came with a crap ton of accessories, or you can buy more accessories and outfits for them on the side. So
So
this is supposed to be like
did they have names like Joe
no.
or anything
Back
else?
then they were all just generic GI Joe, and they were just whatever branch of the military they were. It
Hmm.
was the GI Joe Marine, the GI Joe Naval, the GI Joe Army. Like they didn't have names back then.
Mm.
The names and stuff didn't come till later with the when they went down to the 3 3/4 figs. Um,
Name the Marine guy Nathan Jessup after Jack Nicholson's character in A Few Good Men.
that'd be cool. I go with
Yeah,
that. You can't handle this markup, and then like
that's
give
right.
them a lot higher price. I'd go for
Mm.
that. Um, so I got that in. I do wish they come with a crap ton of stuff. I didn't grab all that stuff. They have ponchos and tripod mounted machine guns with feeder
Mm.
belts and just a crap ton of stuff. They all and one of the cool things, it doesn't sit well because it's plastic, but it's still cool. They all come with dog tags. Like they even have dog tags you can hang around because the old 12-inch ones actually had the aluminum dog tags you could put on them and stuff. I thought that was a pretty cool little a nod to that stuff. But of the set, as cool as those ones are, my favorite still ends up being the naval scuba recon guy. Um, and it's gonna towards the thing I'm gonna build in my display. These are gonna work perfect.
Mm.
They again come with a crap ton of stuff, modular pieces that come on and off, and you can switch out for different pouches and all kinds of stuff. They have.
Yeah, that's pretty
I
cool.
saw one person talking about it, and I think they said that this was supposed to be some kind of missile launcher. I'm here to tell you that this is a big
No, it's
giant
not.
fan that pulls them through the
Right.
water faster. It's just to
Yeah.
get them there. It's
Right.
an under. It's called an underwater sled. Like
Yeah.
it's just to get them there faster. But I saw
Hmm.
somebody talking about it. They're like, I think it's a missile launcher, and I'm like, yep, nope, that's
No,
not
it's
right.
not.
But I was laughing. I thought it was pretty funny. He comes with a lot of stuff too. It's some of the same stuff that came with like torpedo and the eels, but a lot more of other stuff that didn't come with either one of those two. He even comes with a pistol he has in his pouch here, and that has a silencer that sits inside this pouch over here. Because
Yeah,
it's supposed to.
I don't want the fish hearing the gun go off.
Well, that's it. You want to creep up on them little fishies, or
Yep.
who gets their sushi. I mean, that's smart thinking if you think about it, Brink. Um, I did appreciate one of the little nods, like most toy manufacturers, like they gave us the option with these to have Caucasian or African American face sculpts with both sets. But one of the things I thought was cool is most manufacturers would have just gave you gloved hands that worked for both of them. They actually took time to give you different handsets. So you have a handset for the African American and a Caucasian handset too, which
Oh,
it sounds dumb, but I think that's pretty cool that they didn't just give you gloved hands so you could use it for both of them. They took time to give you each. So I thought that was pretty slick.
well,
Um,
considering the popping and swapping and stuff, like
mm,
who's to say what other stuff they got coming out in the future?
yeah,
And
that'd
you
be
might need
that.
some black dude hands, you
Yep.
know?
So I think that's pretty cool.
Uh,
I hear you
yeah, I
giggle
mean,
over
when they
there.
showed the video of Doc, it looks like he also has a modular vest now, so
Hmm. So they might be able to interact with some of the stuff that comes with
might
him.
be a way they're going right now.
Yep. Which is a cool concept. I mean, they have to get a little better with the pegging, so to speak, the pegging system. Some of the pegs are a little too long, so it doesn't sit flush. But I'm pretty sure I can just shave that down a little, and it's
That's
fine.
what she said.
um, they're really the helmets are not like sculpted on; they come on and off, and they're actually really well like toleranced. Like they sit like you would think it was sculpted on the head. So I thought that was pretty cool. Um, so yeah, I have a lot of good memories of the 12-inch Joe line, so to speak. And I remember like in the 90s, I believe they did like kind of a throwback set of those where they did like modern weapons and uniforms, but on the bigger bodies. And I
Mm.
remember having one. It was either the gray camouflage pattern or it was the blue camouflage pattern, and he had like the Gatling gun backpack, and it had like the elastic band so you could get him around his shoulders, and had the big old almost like roadblock, old school roadblock, but it was like a big white dude. But it was on a different kind of uniform. It looked cool. I remember getting it at Toys R Us actually here in town before they shut it down. Um, so yeah, I remember those. I had good memories of them. I thought this was a cool concept. I hope they keep going. Like you said, they put out like the Marine, they put out the Air Force Corpsman. That would be pretty cool. And they can even put out accessory sets and kit packs and stuff to keep them going. Of all of them, I have technically army built bats, but not on purpose. That's just because when Dormammu shared that link when they were like $5 or some crap, I grabbed a bunch of them. These I would purposely army build. Like they're a great set. You could with a simple buck and not even a head swap because you have a head swap. So a buck and a head, I could probably out of one box build 4 figures like
Oh.
easily with the amount of accessories that they give you. So you can give them a whole different loadout with 4 different characters just with a buck and a couple extra heads. So I think it's a pretty cool set, man. If y'all haven't got in on them, I try them out. And that was my collector showcase. Brink, roll it while he's not here. Hit the button. It's the collector showcase one. We did it while he was away. We did it 3 times last time he wasn't here.
He told me. He told me not to.
But he's not here to tell you not to now.
Look, I'm a guest.
I know, but we're all equals, and I'm telling you, you can push it. Do it.
Not gonna
Give
do
in
it.
to peer pressure, Brink. Give in to peer pressure, Brink.
It's not gonna happen.
Derek, beg him. Tell him to do it.
Hold on.
I
We got to
picked
kill
up. I got something this week. I was excited to get.
Boo. But go ahead.
So from Hasbro Pulse, I got the Scarlet Spider in,
Mm.
I
and
almost pulled the trigger on that one.
I was really excited when they announced that they're making another one because I don't know anything about this character, but I really, really like his outfit.
Mm-hmm.
I except no wait, he's supposed to be like a clone, and then he's not
Mm-hmm.
the clone. He can't remember if he's the clone, something like that. But
But he does end up being the clone. Yes, that's
yeah,
that one. Ben
but
Riley. Mm-hmm.
dude, I've always kind of liked this, and I always like every once in a while get the itch to go hunting for the old one, and then I was like, oh, now I don't have to because they
Uh,
made this. So,
Scott wants to know if you're going to put a scarlet head on it.
oh, that's a good idea.
Mm.
So then it'd be a real scarlet spider.
That's right.
Nice. Yes. I want to say it was Mafex or Mafex, whatever, because Scott will yell at me because he's a weeb. Mafex put out one of him where he actually had the soft goods hoodie. I thought that was pretty
Very
cool.
nice.
Like I almost went in on that one. It looked nice. Um, so did you get while he's opening that up and putting a scarlet head on it, did you get anything, Derek?
Nah. I did. Well, just
Just
the
the stuff from
TFCon
LA?
stuff. Yeah,
Man.
it's the stuff from LA. And y'all already know what that stuff is.
All right.
So,
Well,
interestingly enough, Sean got that. It's upstairs. I wish I had it down there. She got that premium 3-0 Nemesis Prime.
uh-huh.
It's freaking huge, man.
Huge.
Like a small child. I'm like,
Mm.
what are you gonna do with this? She was like, don't worry about it. I got it for me. I'm like,
Okay, my bad. My
I don't
bad.
know if she's gonna appreciate you mocking her voice like that online either.
she
You heard
won't.
you heard that, Miss Sean? We're over here defending you.
She
Don't
won't.
let him come
She
hit him
won't.
in the back of the
You
head.
know,
We need the likes. Come slap him in the back of
because
the
if
head
I did
live
it,
on air.
because if I did it perfectly, she'd be down here right now.
Oh,
She'd be down here right now, and she'd be like, "Stop it."
You think you're funny.
I'm just waiting to see the shoe
uh,
come flying across the
That's
screen.
it. You're gonna get a chancla across the face while we're on there. But yeah, so we had talked. So that was the showcase. Just filling a little time. We had talked. People have mentioned it earlier. We're talking about Roadhouse. I know you guys talked about you had the Roadhouse blues on that great reboot. And it kind of leads into what we wanted to talk about was like reboots versus remakes versus continuations. Um, we know there is going to be a hot button subject tonight, so everybody try to be calm and relaxed because other stuff has dropped this week that has been it's been pretty polarizing across the fields. You know, Roadhouse, pretty much everybody heard it sucked ass. That's just pretty much the end of that story. Um, but we know that the X Men '97 dropped. I'm gonna just shoot mine out there and say it's fine. It's not the greatest thing I've ever seen. It's not as bad as I thought it could have been. I liked some parts of it and I hated other parts of it. So I mean, it's a show. The way Disney has been running recently, it's probably one of their better shows just because it didn't suck as bad as some of their other shows. Um, so that's my thoughts on it. Did everybody else get a chance to watch the first couple episodes?
I watched it twice actually. I watched it.
I've watched it
I
5 times.
I've watched it
Wow.
twice also, just so I
Well, you
could
always got to one up somebody, Derek.
Wait, you? How many times you?
Oh, three,
Wow,
that's
three up
yeah,
you
yeah.
somebody.
really
Don't worry.
did it.
No, it is. It's Scarlet Spider. Do it again, Brink. We got you on the big cam.
She got her head's a bit small for the
Yeah,
body, but yeah,
yeah.
there it
That
is.
is
There you go,
so
Scott. You
dope.
you asked for it. Brink supplied it. You're welcome, Scott.
I give you $50 for it.
$50. That's a stone cold
Sold.
While I have this head off real quick,
custom.
check out what they did here for look. So that's the front, right?
Uh-huh.
It's a very small double ball
Uh-huh.
peg, and look, they
Uh-huh.
cut out a notch in the back of the neck.
So you can get further.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
Which they should do more often.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's good.
Oh, for the swing
Good
when
on
he's
you.
in swing mode and
yeah.
looking up, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Swing mode activated. Nice.
yeah.
Um,
That's
be
dope.
careful though, since the ball peg is very skinny compared to what we're used to.
You don't want
Might
to break it
you
pushing it
could
all the way
bend it.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Careful.
How
Yeah.
many times you
So
say you saw it, Brink?
you already three upped
Twice.
them. We know.
I did
He,
Twice.
Wednesday and I did last night as well.
Hmm.
Same
I,
exact thing I did Wednesday last night.
I only got one. I've only been through them one time so far. I haven't had a chance to go back and rewatch them. So, but I
So what
did.
do you think?
I had posted on Bobby's point joint, and I saw it 3, but I saw it 2 more times. It was just that good. It was that dope to me. Yeah.
I really, really liked it, and I wasn't. I barely remember the first series. I remember watching it as a kid every once in a while, but for some reason where I was, they kept playing the same damn episode over and over and over again,
Hmm.
which is why I always thought like, why are you complaining about Morph all the time? And it's like, oh, it's because I'm watching the same episode all the damn time. But I really enjoyed it. I tell you that Rogue has does she use a turn of phrase every time she utters a sentence? Is that her thing? Like her with her
I don't
similes
know.
or whatever? Cat,
Yeah.
house, a room full of rocking chairs and all
Yeah.
that other stuff.
Cat
And
got your tongue, honey.
I
Like,
I swear,
She's country.
I think in
So she's a
five
Southern
minutes,
Belle. She's a Southern Belle.
in 5 minutes, she had some kind of phrase that mentioned a cat, and she
yep.
like it was like three straight while. I was like, whoa, it's all
She
about
she
cats.
she loves an idiom. That is for sure.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
absolutely does love them. And the
But
ironic thing is
Mhm.
that lady's Canadian. Like almost that whole
yeah,
entire voice cast originally
yeah,
was Canadian. So that's a
Yeah.
Canadian person
yeah,
doing their impersonation of a Southern belle from the 1800s. Like
yeah.
it's so I
But
guess they
but
just thought that's how they talked.
that's not a criticism. I'm just saying it was kind of funny. But other than that,
Bring it
man,
over here.
I thought it was
Yeah.
great. I remember at one point listening to Magneto talk, I
His
was
voice.
like, kind of sounds like the Joker. I actually had to pause, and I thought it might have been Mark
Mm.
Hamill there for
Mm,
like a couple minutes, but then it
mhm,
kind of changed to something to. But anyway,
mhm.
it was. I enjoyed it. I thought Storm was kicked ass. And especially when she's like, I think it was in that second episode, she's like, they were like, "Who's this giving us orders?" And she's like, "You better shut up and do what I say." And I was like, "You go." Or not Rogue, the Storm. Storm.
Storm.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of sad, like what happened to her, man. That
Mm.
kind of broke my heart.
Yeah.
Man, did
But
it get you in the feels?
that is out of the comics though, so there is a
Yeah.
Yeah.
basis for that storyline, which is
But
Yeah, yeah,
cool.
yeah. She'll be back.
dude, I
But
was on the edge of my seat most of the time. I thought it was really well done. I
yeah,
really enjoyed it.
My
Real
yeah.
quick,
biggest don't give a crap
real
was
quick,
Scott
real
and
quick,
Dean. Mhm.
real quick. Everybody, we should have prefaced this. There will be spoilers tonight, so
Yeah.
Oh,
we should have warned you
oh.
guys. Sorry, that's on me. But there will be spoilers. All
I
right,
I
sorry,
mean,
mean,
Ricky.
we're all nerds
Sorry.
and we all knew this happened this week.
Yeah,
If you're complaining
but
about spoilers, fuck yourself.
hey, listen, focus on your boy Dirk B for a second. The title says, "To me, my X Men." You had to know we were gonna be talking about this tonight. So if I seen it 5 times already, you ain't seen it once. That is your fault, sir, ma'am.
if I had chance to watch it once with all I had going on this week, you have no
Mm,
excuse, people.
nope,
None.
not at all.
So so Jay says the dialogue was terrible.
There it was rough in spots. I have to
Yeah,
agree with
it
that.
had its moments, but
I would need examples because I
it's
it didn't do some of the
maybe all
tropes
of
that
Rogue's
I like. Huh?
one all
Mm-mm.
of Rogue's lines are all her
No,
little.
I would say
I'm s-
my thing, and maybe Jay will agree on it on the dialogue, is it was very what's her uh expositional. Like as soon as Rogue or as soon as Storm
what it
came
did.
on the screen for the first time, they're like, "Oh, Storm, you're gonna use your storm powers like you always used to use the storm powers to do the
Yeah, but
weather." Oh,
they
here comes
got
Scott. Are you
they
gonna
got
shoot
that
lasers
out,
out of your eyes? Because
dude.
lasers come out of your eyes. Like
But
every single time somebody came on, I'm like, we
no,
get
no,
it. We
no.
watched the
It
show
was
growing up. You
yeah,
know what I
but
mean?
I think maybe they did that just for people who didn't know. Maybe.
Yeah,
It's self-explanatory.
it
The
had
dude
to.
opens his eyes, he shoots lasers out of it. I mean, you don't need to tell me he's going to shoot lasers out of his eyes. I'm going to see it happen. Like that's the one I did catch that, and it was
Okay.
literally every single person. Like even Magneto, it's like I have the power of magnetism, which means I can move metal objects. I'm like, dude, we got it. Like you don't have to just do it.
Let me just say this, man.
See, hey,
The way
Esteban
they
agreed with
did,
me.
the way they did, I was super impressed with the way they are doing Cyclops now versus when he was back no. The dude's straight, he's straight badass now. It's badass impressive to me. The way he came in on the scene with the beams and he's doing all the stuff with the beams going, going in different directions. That dude, you got it. I'm like, yo, that's a straight improvement to where they used to have the way they used to have Cyclops, man. To me, so I really like the way they got Cyclops right now. But he's
I'm gonna be
going.
that. I'm gonna be
I'm,
that. I'm
I'm
gonna be that
looking
little.
forward to. I'm looking
I'm gonna
forward
be
to
that
seeing
kid
his
that gets.
mind blown based on what happened at the end of the second show. Man, yo, you talk about something that's going to be good. This,
And
I
that
mean, they're pulling all the stories straight from the comics,
the
but
pregnancy thing but the pregnancy thing is from the comics, but they're
yeah,
jumping the gun way early in the timeline.
yeah, I think
Way
they done
early.
that really
well,
early.
And then
this show. I mean, they pulled stories from the comics, but they've never really gone in comic timeline order. So it
mhm,
is.
Mm-mm.
I expected this. Remember, they've had the toys out already.
Yeah,
So there's X Men
I didn't even know.
'97 Madeline Pryor out. Like
Yeah,
she's
that's
yeah,
already
true.
shipped. She shipped before the show came
Mm-hmm.
out. So you knew she was coming.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you knew she was
It-
coming. Like there's no spoiler there. They oh, here's the Marvel Legends. There you go. Oh well, now we know who's making an appearance this season.
Mhm,
So you know
mhm.
the storyline is going in. But yeah, I'm sorry to
Mr.
cut you off
But
Sinister.
there,
I
Jay.
already knew that
Keep
that was
going.
Madeline Pryor before they was even announcing it because the whole pregnancy thing because that's Nate's mother, that's Cable's mother, and it's just like okay, they're doing a lot of comic drawings in because if you notice the whole Magneto and Rogue thing, that's Age of Apocalypse right there, and what was it?
No, no, it's also they've had that done in the main timeline.
I don't remember seeing it in the
I
main.
think they had a dalliance and during when they were in the Savage Land at one point. He's
Mm-hmm.
always been like the one person that can touch her. So,
Because that she was part of
but
his.
this is back.
He was
They're
part.
we're
That would
going
even
back. We're going back to the '80s, like
Yeah, because she was
early, like
part
I
of the
think when they
brotherhood
did
of
this.
the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants and stuff. Like back in the day, like she was part of that crew.
So did they knock boots or did they only hold hands?
Not in the comics. I don't know
No,
if they
not not
Everybody
in the
knocks.
comic.
Everybody knocks boots in the comics.
brothers
Look,
and sisters do it, man. Quicksilver
yeah.
and what's her face did. Ugh,
And
ugh.
Wanda?
Yeah, the Ultimate
I,
Avengers.
I don't
Ugh,
remember that. I don't
ugh.
remember that. I don't remember that.
It's a thing.
I don't know about that. You
It's
know,
a thing.
I don't subscribe to that.
I just remembered
Um,
the expedition, like the expositional dumps when I was talking about they did that was when Jean was packing her stuff up and she got her old
why he
Phoenix
gotta be a
outfit,
bitch?
the green and yellow, and she like picked it up. Oh, you remember that one time when we were in outer space and I got taken over
Yeah.
by a celestial being, and then Scott and I fell in love, and then we came back to Earth and my powers were strong. I'm like, so you just blew right through the whole Phoenix saga just to tell us what those clothes were that you were holding in your hand. That's cool.
I think they were trying to throw some nod backs, make sure everybody knows this is connected to the original.
Nod backs again.
Y'all
Go back and watch it again with the thought process of paying attention
I've
to
watched
what
it
they're
twice.
talking
I
about.
watched it twice.
okay.
I
Let
have
me
watched
let
it
me
twice.
let me put y'all
She
on game.
she she talked about her yellow and green outfit. I
When she was
Yeah,
packing up
they
the
did when
leaf,
she was
she's
packing up her.
holding it in
Yeah,
her hand.
yeah. Now, I believe
huh,
the way
that's
they're
funny.
gonna do this, I believe that's gonna be the point of where Madeline came in when the whole Phoenix saga was over and when she came back to Earth. I think that's when they're gonna say that Madeline Pryor entered
Well,
into
It would
that's
have been a little
supposed.
later because
animated series.
the Mr. Sinister was the later storyline, wasn't it? Because
No,
Madeline
it was
Pryor's
before that.
attached to Sinister.
No, I'm talking about the animated series.
I
I'm
am
talking about
too.
the animated series storyline because an animated
No, Tyler,
series.
it's just you, Tyler. It is just you.
No, because the Sinister came in the beginning of season 2. Phoenix Saga was at like season 3.
Hmm. Or
But
4.
yeah, but it's not
Season
Three
in
or
three.
yeah,
order. But it's not
304
in
was
order on Disney
304.
Plus because Tyler
Yeah, it
Bob.
is.
No, it's not.
It
I have the
I watched
DVDs
it
and they're
all the
not
way
in
through.
they're not in the same order though. It's the same thing with
Yeah,
like Batman the Animated Series. If you go look it up on HBO Max, the first two episodes is the Cat and the Claw Part 1 and Part 2, but the original
oh,
release
really?
was On Leather Wings was the very first episode of Batman the
Yeah,
Animated
that's
Series.
true.
So
Because
they
yeah, I
put
got the
Disney has it in order,
airing of
not
production
airing
order.
order as
Yeah,
it's
production
supposed to
order.
be order.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if anybody ever watched Firefly
Hmm.
back in the day. They screwed that up and screwed the
Hmm.
order of the way the episodes aired. Um,
Thank you, Jay.
yeah.
but
So
He did
maybe
come
that's
back
why
in
as
later
a kid it
seasons.
was so weird for me because they
He
played in
did
the
come back in later seasons, but
hmm
that has nothing to do with the introduction of Marilyn with Madeline
Madeline
Pryor.
Pryor. Hmm.
no,
Yeah.
they're stealing
So
this directly from the comics. The whole
Hmm.
Madeline and
oh yeah,
the clone.
absolutely. And they're
It's
using it
fine.
for
I
that.
got no problems with that.
But I'm saying the whole thing she did with the outfit and everything. I'm saying that's
Yeah.
when she came. That's probably when they inserted. They're going to say that's when they inserted her in when she
Gotcha.
was with Cyclops the entire time.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
Gotcha. So Derek
Well,
loves it, thinks it's the greatest thing ever made. Brink says it's pretty good. I think it's okay. How do you feel about it?
okay. So
and tell the truth.
I'm gonna take a different approach here. I'm gonna point out what I felt were the flaws in the show that have bothered me, and I'm gonna preface this with I enjoyed it a lot,
While you're
but
doing that, I'm gonna screenshot all of your comments that you made in our private chats.
go right ahead. Go right ahead. Uh,
He's
first
not
Screenshot
wrong.
problem
number
are
one.
the voices. First problem are the voices. Um, personally for me, Rogue's voice is so like when I saw the trailer, my I have a problem with Wolverine's voice. It does not sound the same. Now when we're talking, you're getting everybody hype. It's a continuation. It's same voice actors, so you're going in with this. I'm going in with a certain expectation, right? Look, I understand people get older, their voices change, they're using different technology now than they did back then. All these things are factoring into voice changing. Yes, I get it. Doesn't mean it don't bother me. Now, after watching it, Wolverine's is not as annoying or bothering me nowhere near as much as Rogue. I don't know what is going on with that voice, but it just sounds really bad.
Now she's a really old lady trying to imitate.
It
Like a
just,
lot of
it
these
just,
actors
it
sound like
is
they're imitating themselves, imitating
Mm.
a voice.
like I said, like when Dom comes on the Hangouts and he sounds like Vader, but he doesn't really sound like Vader when he's breathing. You know what it's supposed to be, but you're not quite there. That's what I'm getting with a lot of the voice actors from the show.
Wolverine just sounds old. He just sounds like he's been doing that gravelly voice so long. He sounds like a 90 year
I
old been
don't,
smoking for 80 years.
You know,
you know,
I was a little taken aback because, like I said, I didn't watch a lot of the original series and I never read a lot of comic books. So me, Wolverine is Hugh Jackman, and that's it, right, for the most
Gross.
part.
Gross.
So when
Gross.
I'm watching this show, I'm like,
Mhm.
wow, Wolverine is such a sidebar character. He's not like he might say something, he might not. It's like, oh man, this is weird. Him not being the
So
main
I'm a
focus, you know?
and yeah, I agree, Esteban. There were some voices that I thought were great. It's not all of them, and it's not everybody. Um, my second complaint, and I know this sound is gonna bug everybody out, is the animation. So the original was hand drawn. So now again, this is trying to copy something that was hand drawn digitally. It looks off. I understand they're trying to go for that original look, and again, it's close. But since this is all done digitally now, you're never going to get that original look.
Mhm.
So
It's very fluidy looking instead of hand drawn looking.
yeah,
Mm,
it, it's something that I know as the show goes on, I'll eventually get used to it,
mm,
get over it. I don't. Same thing with Wolverine. I think I will eventually get used to the voice not sounding exactly as what I remember and what I've heard, and because I've recently rewatched the recent X Men, the old X Men one.
mhm.
mhm,
Um, I don't know if I'll ever get over Rogue's voice,
mhm. That's a whole different actress. Anyway, so
and
Is she a
yes,
different actress?
yes, it's somebody's different playing Rogue.
I
why the
thought, I thought it was the same lady.
Why the fuck is Magneto wearing lipstick?
Oh,
I
mm.
have a big
That
M on
is
his
just
chest.
bothering the fuck out of me. He
So
looks like
here's the
he's
thing,
wearing lipstick, and I'm like, oh my god, why? Who proved this in the animation department?
because Rogue, you notice the scenes that they're both in. When you see uh Magneto wearing the lipstick, you'll all of a sudden see Rogue not wearing lipstick. That's it. Mystery solved. But I mean, let me make this point. I'm going back to the voice thing that you were
Real
talking
quick,
about.
because the Googles said it's the same lady doing Rogue. It's Lauren Zahn.
I met the actual person that originally did the voice.
Lenore, it's
It's not.
Lenore, not Lauren. Lenore.
That lady with the blue scarf thing around her neck. That's the original lady, and she's doing it still in this one.
Oh,
Yeah,
Well,
so
yeah,
she
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 did
didn't
X Men
reveal all
'92
her
to '9. Yep,
secrets when you talked to her.
yep.
okay.
She
All
I
right.
think you talked to the one that did the
So
Rogue on Evolution. There's a different lady
maybe
that did Rogue Evolution.
there was Rogue Evolution, and there was
Rogue Evolution, X Men
Well, X Men
Evolution.
X Men
Evolution.
Evolution
Yeah.
and Wolverine in the X Men.
Yeah.
So maybe it was one of those rogues. Definitely could have
So
been.
getting back
I
to the voice thing. Now,
should have done this at the show.
notice notice that as you know, yeah, as these actors get older, their voices change.
Hmm.
Look at Peter Cullen. You got Optimus Prime.
You mean Frank Cullen?
That dude too. He does not. Peter Cullen does not sound the same way he did
Of
when he
course not.
did the G1 series.
Of course not.
But I think
He's
he's still closer.
closer. Hmm.
He's way closer to what he does, to what he did.
It
Like
doesn't have that
it's not
John
as
Wayne feel to it though.
egregious to me. Look, I
Yeah.
understand, and I'm not blaming. I understand
Yeah,
why
yeah,
it's
yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that it's not bothering me right now, especially with Rogue. Like my original one was Wolverine. As I started watching it, you can hear the changes, but then there are moments where it's like so it's not so bad as I thought he was gonna be. But the Rogue, and again, I don't have an issue with her voice. It's just no, that's a lie. I do have an issue with voice. Voice is fucking annoying. Sorry. Not only is it different, it is annoying. I hate to say it, but that voice is annoying the fuck out of me. I don't know what it is. It feels like it doesn't fit the character.
Mhm.
I don't.
And I don't like
I
Gambit
wish
in
I
this
could
one.
explain it better or what.
Yeah, I don't
There's
like
something feels off. You know, I love the original. I love the opening theme.
Hmm.
Yeah, you bring back the original music pretty much. You made a couple little tweaks to it,
Hmm.
but it was still that same
Yes.
theme that we all know. You had them all literally doing the same exact opening
Opening
sequence
scenes.
poses that they did in the original, which I thought was a great nod for something that's supposed to be a continuation.
Now, do you think as an Easter egg they should have left the animation arrows in the opening
No,
sequence?
no,
I think that's a fun. I think that would have been a cool kind of throwback to that.
no, I'm okay with them changing the villain cast that when they
Hmm.
come running together.
Hmm.
Everybody always like, who is that little dude? No one
The little
knows who
purple
that
guy in the
little dude
corner.
is. He was never like that was an animation error that
Hmm.
they made a mistake for. Um, I'm glad they fixed it. I'm glad they updated it. I might have chosen different villains. I would probably put more of the X-Men's bigger villains than like Pyro and Avalanche, but whatever.
Hmm.
That's just a
I
me thing.
I also I'm glad that they put that opening theme. I mean, how could you not? Because it's so iconic. But they didn't do it for the new Voltron. They didn't do it for the new He-Man.
Hmm.
And I
Hmm.
think for He-Man there were like some kind of right things involved with filmation. But
Yeah, that's what I
still, I mean,
heard.
come on, pay the fucking money, man, and put that
It's
goddamn
worth
theme
it.
song in
Yeah.
there.
You
You
know how many
know?
click. You know how many click views you'd have got just people rewatching that
Exactly.
opening over and over.
Yeah.
hmm
You'd have made your money back. Yep. Yep. So I'm sorry, E, cut you off. You still had like a little more to get off your chest, bud.
No, like I said, I know I have some. They might sound like silly complaints here about the show. I did overall enjoy it. They definitely threw me for a loop. You watch these first. All right, all right.
Oh,
I'm about to mute Jay
Jay's getting
or
thrown out.
Jay, Jay. Jay, we're no longer friends. Uh,
Unfriending block.
block, unfriend, report, cancel,
we,
whatever it
we
is that we
we
got
were
to
on
do
the
for that
same
one.
page,
But
Jay. You and I were reading out the same book until you just said that.
um, damn, I totally forgot what I was gonna say now. Just like
I'm
totally
just
just blew me off.
flabbergasted. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that about the X-Men theme song before.
Oh, Storm.
uh,
Storm.
Like I had like when you watch the first two up until where she got shot by executioner and lost her powers. I thought we were gonna get a very. It felt like we were gonna get a very storm centric show. I thought
mhm,
the way they were showcasing and that part where she came walking across the sand
mhm.
and it has a big fight with
That
the
was so
Sentinels. It
badass.
was. I was like, oh, this is great. This is the storm I want to see. And then they're like, nope. The Game of Thrones. Nope. She's gone.
Yeah.
But I love that the lightning hitting the silica and turning it to glass. I thought
Yep.
that shit was
Yeah,
cool as fuck watching that
yeah.
happen. But we're thinking she's gone. They still might
Oh no,
use that
they'll bring her
as a.
back. Look,
But I'm
it's a
saying
storyline. Yes.
her wandering, trying to find herself as a human. That's probably going to be a big B plot that runs throughout the
Oh yeah,
season.
she'll be back. But you understand what I mean. Like I thought
Yeah, yeah,
we were gonna have very storm centric.
yeah. She was
Cyclops
going to
is
be
leaving.
The Tila version of this thing.
Cyclops, no, Cyclops is leaving. Storm takes over the X-Men.
Hmm.
I know Magneto's there right now, but at one point she did lead the X-Men, so I was like, all right, this seems like maybe
Dude,
they'll
she
eventually
would be
bring
an
that in.
awesome leader
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
compared
Yeah,
she
to
is
that
in
yeah.
the comics. She ends up
hmm
compared
as
to
leader.
that Rodimus Prime Cyclops dude.
Old murder prime boy.
I am of the opinion that I have never been a fan of Cyclops before. Still really
But that's
not
the thing
my
about
biggest
it.
fan. He's the Boy
Too
Scout.
square. He's too
He's the Boy
square.
Scout.
Hmm.
hmm
I don't
And
know if
then
anybody's read any X Men over the last 10 years. He definitely took a dark turn at some point
yep,
where he wasn't such a Boy Scout, where I
he
liked
had
him
that
a
hmm
big
lot
red.
fucking better.
He had a big red X thing on his face. That you talking about that Cyclops?
But
that's Age of Apocalypse Cyclops.
no,
Oh no, no, no,
he
because that
had the
was
X on his
Yeah,
face.
yeah.
yeah, because that was because he had
That
that
was
during the
post
That's when he went like bad guy. That was after
yeah
Scarlet Witch took all the powers, wasn't it?
No, that was way
Avengers.
after. That was post X-Men versus Avengers
Mhm.
Yeah, I was going
over
to. I was
over the
going to say
Hope
X Men
Summers
versus
and
Avengers.
Mhm.
over the Hope Summers
Yeah.
storyline. But
Hmm.
yeah, there you go. Exactly, Esteban. Cyclops was right. I know what he's talking about.
Mhm.
And I like also too. So Morph looks like the guy from Spider-Man, the animated series, the Chameleon.
The
Yeah, yeah.
Is
chameleon.
that is that is
Spender
that so?
Man.
Is he supposed to look like that, or
In the
was he
Well,
cosplaying as the Chameleon those couple times we had the gray like
I
nothing
think that's
face?
the modern morph look, wasn't that? Like
Oh, okay.
yeah.
post apocalypse, like the Age
So,
of Apocalypse morph.
if y'all remember, before he was Morph, he was Changeling. He was that character, and I remember when they were doing Changeling, he would have that blank look. There were some issues where he had that blank look. So I'm like, okay, maybe they're going back to that, and he's going to doing the
Mm,
whole blank face. He makes himself look human because that's the way he really looks.
mm. Because
So maybe they're
morph
tapping
was.
back into
Well,
that.
well, I
You
just wanted to say I like how they used him as eye candy to give you
hmm
characters that they couldn't fit in the show right
See, but
away.
that's
Yeah,
actually bothering me.
Oh, yeah.
That was one of my complaints. I want to
but,
see those
but they said
characters in the show.
they used to do it back in. I watched this whole behind the scenes thing about the original run, and they used to do the same thing. Marvel wouldn't allow them to use, like, just for instance, they
Yep.
wouldn't allow them to use Captain America, so they just put U.S. military guy like on the paper. They just say U.S.
Hmm.
military guy, and they would just have Captain America standing there in the background. They just couldn't say they were using them. So they used to do the same thing in the 90s.
Yeah, but no, but that's it. But I'm talking about the X-Men characters that they can use, that they have used before. Colossus was in the show at one point.
Mm,
Nightcrawler has been in the show. Psylocke
yeah.
was in the show before.
Mhm.
Where
But they all still come in. I mean, they
yeah,
might
but I
come back.
want to see. I want them to be more prevalent. Like those are some
Yeah.
of my also. When I think of my main X-Men team, it also includes Nightcrawler, Iceman,
Mhm.
Psylocke, and Colossus, and just seeing him
Mhm.
tease them, is like, oh, y'all
Yeah.
just trying to
Well,
save
no, because
money here on voice
Mhm.
well,
actors. Fuck you guys, give me my
Yeah.
X-Men.
I would say the
well,
90s, the original 90s cartoon actually made me like Nightcrawler. Like they gave him way more gravitas and like made me like him more as a character. Like I wasn't a big fan of him in the comics. I was always kind of dumb, but the show I made me like him.
I like these characters now because they seem like they're more on edge, and especially in their fighting styles. You never seen Morph, you know, in battle like that. You never seen Morph in battle, period, in the previous series. You would see him fighting alongside, they would do like light fighting. But
Mhm.
I'm really loving the fight choreography they got going on in this series as well.
Well, there was the one time where Morph stopped that Sentinel's hand beam.
Wow.
Until you wait too long. Morph.
You know,
Talking about with you talking about with his
When he used his
toes, his
chest. Yeah.
chest was blowing up. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But I
And,
will
and
say this
that was
Gambit was
considered extremely graphic
extremely
back
violent.
then, But
Gambit
and
was
that's
always one of my
wild.
favorite in
But
the
no,
show.
I love the way they doing the fight choreography this time around when they broke into the Friends of Humanity
Mhm.
warehouse in the beginning of this. That's what I was talking about with Cyclops doing all the
Mhm.
stuff. They
He's
had
still a dick.
Storm come in
Mhm.
crashing through the roof, and that was basically reminiscent of the very first episode when they were in the
hmm
mall.
Mhm.
I mean, it was just so many nostalgic moments in this entire series. I can
can
point
I
out
can
each
I
and
can I
every
ask a
one of them.
question?
Sure.
Do they not have an extra change of clothes?
For okay,
Rogue had
here's
the same pink dress on she had in the mall. Jean wearing the same outfit she did when she wasn't in her. Like, I mean, come on,
right,
guys. Like, they don't have extra change of
It's
clothes. Like,
called member
yeah,
berries. It's
no,
called
right.
fuck
member.
that. Change your clothes. That's nasty.
Here's one thing that was off for me. Bishop. They made him smaller looking in this one. Remember
I didn't
in
pick
the
up on that one.
yeah,
That he looked small.
Bishop was a big dude.
I think
He
it's
was
the
a big
hair.
dude in there.
I
Yeah.
think it's just because
No,
his
no, no.
hair.
It wasn't just the
They
hair. He
gave him
was
a haircut,
stocky.
so he
He
looks
was
more
Yeah, yeah.
smaller.
stocky. He was stocky looking. He was really
I know
stocky
what you're
looking.
talking
And
about.
but
Cable
yeah,
did.
but they make him look. It got him all small now. I was just
I
like,
think it's
oh,
because he's
why
out
they
of
do
the
that to
soul
Bishop?
glow, man. So he can't do that here, so he just cut it. You know.
That was a that was a black mullet, by the way,
Yeah,
and
but that
that was
yeah,
in the
when
original
you
series. that
when
he
you were
had.
talking about Storm coming down through that part right there, that into that warehouse, that
Yeah,
is another one of those expositional dumps I'm talking about. When Rogue's up there just talking to Gambit like, "Oh, because remember my powers. If I touch people, it'll drain them and it would kill them." I'm like, okay, we get it.
we
But
That's a
already
little
some
know
different.
that.
but
I
some
think
people
you.
don't know. Some
Then go
people
I
back and
think.
watch the old show.
I,
This
I,
isn't targeted for you.
I think what
Right.
I get what you're saying. I agree with most of it, but I always look at the whole rogue thing. Like she, Gambit needs a constant reminder to keep his hands to himself.
Yeah.
Well,
That's the
that's
thing
it.
with him. Like if you've
But it
ever
wasn't even
read the
Yeah.
X
he
Men
wasn't
and
trying to
Rogue
get
and
at her
whatever,
at that
so
moment.
Man.
he's always
I,
trying to push the envelope, telling her, "I don't care. I risk it. I risk it. I risk it."
hey,
So
And Gambit pissed me off in this one. He was always one of my favorites to the point where I took my batting gloves because I was playing baseball back then. I cut the fingers off
got
and
the
run around
fingers
with
right
playing
here.
cards,
These two. Yeah.
throwing them at people like an idiot in my house. I didn't care. I loved Gambit. And in this, he's such like a dude bro Chad. Like I want to slap him every time he opens his mouth and talk. I don't like what they're doing with him
Yeah.
in
I
this.
don't like the way they having they cucking him the Magneto right now. So it's like
Well, then
when she
plenty of
came
those
out the
people
room,
shouldn't watch Esteban.
when she came out the room and he was, back around the corner and then like dropped the card, was like, yo, I was like, yo, that's
well, these
you
are
know,
like I said, they're pulling a lot of elements from the comics,
yeah.
which is fine. You make your alterations. Obviously, I don't expect a retelling word for word of what I've read.
Mhm.
You getting your ideas from canon source material. It's all fine by me. I do have another question. So Hasbro, Marvel Legends, right? You're looking at so they wanted the rumor, the narrative of certain characters that cannot be made, right? For toy shells, right? Emma Frost in her
White
hooker
Queen.
outfit, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
But she's wearing it in the show.
But there's no underboob. Hashtag no underboob.
Well,
Right.
that outfit doesn't have on the boob anyway. She's wearing a corset. So,
Mhm.
and I'm just like, all right. So where does and it just made me think like, where's the line drawn? Like, because I've always felt like maybe they've never made like Friends of Humanity figures because they're basically it's a hate group,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
But now here you have this Disney show on Disney Plus for kids to watch, featuring a hate group. So I don't know.
But
It was just a thought. I don't even know
isn't
if
it
there's a
set like
conversation.
TV
I don't know if
PG
y'all
or TV 14, so you can't watch it like on a
Yeah.
kids
right.
thing? It doesn't show it. You have to have the
I
adult
don't know what
account.
it's rated.
Well,
I'll check in a minute. But
I don't know if y'all caught it or not, but they kind of did some January 6th type stuff in this too with the Friends of Humanity coming into the courthouse and just basically take trying to take over the joint and
well,
stuff. But that too, there's always going to be that shock value when you come to these
yeah,
shows.
yeah. No, I
So
mean the
I don't
X
think
Men
that was
have
January 6th
always.
stuff. That would be more like the Red November where they were trying to storm the castle and kill Stalin. Like I don't think it's
You know,
the
I
other
mean
way.
the X Men have always touched on real world modern day issues throughout it. So
Hmm.
I'm
yeah,
not surprised they did that. No, it was just me. I was just wondering, like, so we can get this in a cartoon show, but
Hmm.
you can't put Mephisto on a shelf.
Right.
I know it's a different character, but
But didn't
it
they
just made
show
me
Meph-
wonder. Like,
Didn't they
that's
show
what I'm saying. It
Mephisto in some
just
of the
made
old
me wonder,
cartoons?
like, where's the draw? Like, where's the line that they make the decisions on?
I thought they showed Mephisto like in the old Spider-Man, didn't they? When Ghost Rider came on, didn't they
But
show Mephisto?
that was pre Disney. That was
True,
pre Disney owning
yeah,
Hasbro.
true,
I mean,
true.
that was pre Disney owning
Marvel.
Marvel.
Yeah, I got
Duh.
you.
Sorry,
I
yeah.
got
everybody.
you. I was picking up what you were dropping.
Oh,
Yeah.
they own
Right.
Hasbro. Don't worry about
Did you
They
also
Well,
own
that's
it.
true
notice?
Got
too.
them by the
I mean, they
balls.
definitely got them. They definitely do. But
Did you also notice that the theme changed as far as the characters, the villain characters? They took out. Remember, Thunderbird was on the villain team when they were running together.
Warpath. I think that was supposed to be
Warpath.
Warpath.
Okay.
No, I thought they was.
I always thought it was supposed to
I
be
thought
Warpath. I mean, it don't make. I
I
mean, I
thought
get
him as
you get.
Thunderbird.
They had this pretty much the same
Yeah.
outfit, but
Potatoes,
Yeah,
tomatoes. I
yeah,
mean, just
they're brothers.
mhm.
They're
yeah,
brothers.
yeah. They're brothers, but
The reason why I always felt it was Warpath because Thunderbird was never a villain He
Right.
came in and died, and when Warpath was originally a villain looking for revenge for his brother's death. That's why I always
But
thought
he
that might have been Warpath.
well, hold on, because Warpath. I don't consider Warpath to be a villain. I
No, no, no,
consider
no.
him.
His
I consider
initial.
him. I consider his position as trying to get, trying to go after the people responsible for killing his brother. I looked at him like that as like as a
Anti-hero.
vigilante,
Mhm.
anti-hero.
But
Well,
then
his
in the 90s, they didn't
initial.
have that. You're a good guy, you're a bad guy. You had
Well,
no
Right.
middle ground.
his
Mhm.
what I'm saying is like his initial introduction was revenge for his brother. That's why I felt that was Warpath there.
Yeah.
Because
What's up, son?
Thunderbird, there was always, he was introduced and he died.
Mm.
He introduced and he died, and Warpath originally blamed the X-Men for it. Don't
Right.
matter. It
Right.
could, we'll never know. Like we don't know who the little green guy was or little purple pink guy, whatever his name was.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
Now, one of my favorite arguments on the internet is how woke this show is going to be, and
Oh
well, I
I.
haven't seen
yeah.
nothing
But
of the sort,
I'm not
so
arguing that
I
it
don't even
is.
want to have that
I'm
conversation.
not arguing that it is because to me, I think that's an ignorant statement to make because the X Men
It's
were
all.
originally created to point out social injustices and stuff since the very beginning. That was kind of the
Mhm.
whole point to them. So you can't really call it that like it's a negative. I mean, that's a
Right.
modern term, but they've already been doing that pretty much since the 60s.
Yeah,
Since the
I
since
haven't seen
since
anybody say that
day
yet either.
one,
So,
X Men has been that platform to take on social injustices and all that.
Mhm.
It's been like that since day one. For
yep.
Mhm.
people to use statements like that now, I saw because I think Mike had put up a post about that, and he had somebody on his Instagram had posted was like, let me know if let me know how woke it is, so I'll know what to expect when I go watch it. And he had the perfect reply to that too, man. Y'all got to check that out, man. But yo, it was like, why even, why is that a thing? I don't know, man. That just took me out of my element when it really took me out of my element when I saw that statement being made. I was just like, oh, here we go.
Well,
Right.
I mean
Just
that,
This,
that
ignore
that's
him.
what people expect now. I mean to see, even though they, we're not going to get into the definition of woke, but it's
Mhm.
like, you know, I, this show, all the characters are different sexes, different races, and it seemed
Different
right on
colors.
par with what it is to me. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, there's a blue guy in there
very
too,
on par.
and
Hmm.
I mean the only thing that I thought, you know, we talked about that insurrection kind of, thing at the end, right? Where it kind of looked like that. It's like,
Mhm.
Hmm.
the people doing the protesting and doing the rioting, they kind of resemble those people that were storming the Capitol, maybe. But I didn't that didn't seem too on the nose to me, but
No,
I
I
would be,
mean,
if anybody wanted to complain, I would think maybe that was it. But it's like there's really nothing to complain about there. I mean, I don't know. I dug it. It was all, the story was really really good. Like it made
mhm.
sense. Like, and I want to ask you guys because again, you're kind of more hardcore X-Men fans. Ricky just pulled up the DVD set there, right? Like, and I've heard you guys talk about it for years.
Mhm.
When Magneto came in as part of Professor X's, last will and testament to take over leadership, how did you guys feel about that with him being such a pain in the ass for the X-Men? You know, all the to me, it didn't bother me that much because, dude, he came in there and took care of business. I'm not connected to these people and
It,
their
it,
cause, right? But how about to you guys? How did it feel?
if you have been,
It
let's
felt
say, an X
natural.
Men fan and have read
Yeah.
the comics pretty consistently over the years, Magneto has gone from villain to hero to leading the X Men to back and like it's who his character is. So it didn't bother me. Like if you remember in the first episode in the first season, he came to help the X Men defeat the Sentinels. Like
Mhm.
Hmm.
there's a love it. There's that hate relation. Well, I don't want to say hate, but there's
Like love hate.
that
There's love. Mhm.
anger
Mhm.
between him and Professor X. But they were best friends. They're that love that they both are have always kind of, as much as they fought, they've been there for each other too. So it
Yep.
doesn't bother me. Like I expected it. I hate that purple outfit. I've always hated it, and even in the
Yeah.
comics. But I think Magneto's been part of the X Men now for years now. He's been rolling with the X Men on the good side.
Mhm.
Oh,
So
okay. Like, cause like,
and even back in the day, it's been back and forth, back and forth.
Right.
Because him and
So
Charles always wanted the same thing. They just went
Right.
about it different ways. Charles wanted
yes,
to make friends to get to mutants being safe and happy, and Magneto's like, "Screw that! Let's get them out of the way and have mutants be happy and safe." You know,
yeah,
Xavier, Martin Luther King, Magneto, Malcolm X. They both wanted the same thing, but they just had they're just going at it in different ways. They had their
earlier
ways
Malcolm.
of they had their ways of doing it, but it was pretty much always the same goal.
To
You
build off
know,
of what you just said, early Malcolm X was Magneto. This new Magneto that we have now is late Malcolm X when he had that
right?
change of heart and like
Yes,
he still wanted to do it his way, but he was more accepting of
right,
doing it the other way too.
right. You
Yeah,
know, so
I go with that.
it
That's a
was
good
always
buy.
that commonality that they always had, but they never ripped each other. They never tried to rip each other apart, trying to
well,
They did.
get to the
if you
same goal.
remember,
I'm talking about in the
uh,
now again. I'm only staying in the cartoon series.
oh, in the cartoons, like
In the
like
cartoon series,
in
yeah.
the X in the comics, like at one point, if you remember, Professor X literally wiped Magneto's mind,
Hmm.
and that's where Onslaught came
Time
from. But that's a
time
whole
out
other
real quick.
conversation.
Time out real quick. Sony just dropped in late. We're talking heavy spoilers, Sony. Just to forewarn you, man. From Jump Street, we've been talking heavy spoilers. So just
Yep.
wanted to give him the heads up because we like that dude. We don't want to ruin it for
I thought
him.
he was gonna drop him. I thought he was gonna drop him.
I thought he was
Yeah.
going to do it too. I thought maybe he was going to drop Executioner on them or
Right.
drop
dude,
them and not Executioner.
his
There was so many ways that could have played out,
and
man.
Esteban mentioned like his speech after the storm event, like,
Yeah.
dude, fucking hit me, man. It's
Yeah.
like that's
That's
His
what I'm
like
saying.
his,
Yo,
his writing
that
has been
I
he's
post stuff
probably my favorite
everywhere.
character so far.
The second episode, man, it will hit you in every place. It'll hit all your senses.
yeah.
Episode that second episode, and especially that part, it was everything. Everything. Dude, is it Wednesday yet? Jesus, I
Nah,
can't
I
wait for
know, right?
that third
oh,
episode, man. Woo!
no, not yet. This is a show I wish dropped all at once.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like the first episode was your action episode. You know that fight scene with the Sentinels was absolutely fucking phenomenal.
So great.
And then the
Yeah.
second episode was story driven, like
What did you
and
think
I'm
about
sorry, the part where Jean was like, he's coming, and Wolverine said, "Who, Apocalypse?" And she screamed at him, "No, the baby." I couldn't help but laugh. Like the way
Right.
she yelled
Yeah.
at him, like she yelled at him, like, "What are you, fucking stupid?" Like,
Well, that's what I said. I was like, I think I was in the other room when that was on. I was like, what? What did he say?
what did y'all
Idiot.
think
Yo.
of the part of Beast jumping in a Sentinel and being able to control it by just holding shift?
Yo.
yo, he's a
That was
genius, man.
badass.
He's a genius.
Yeah.
Y'all know how electronics work, right?
Not as much as Beast does.
Right. Exactly. So
Okay.
Remember, he creates time travel device. Like, look, man, that's what we're gonna complain about. We're not
No,
gonna
I
complain
just said
about the
what
guy with
I
the
just said what did
metal
you
that
think
comes out
of it?
his hand, and the
right.
people with the powers. We're gonna be like, oh, you can't control a sentinel like that. We're not even gonna complain that there's a 30-foot tall robot walking around killing shit, right?
Right.
No, that's your
Or
realism that you got to bring into this, Ricky.
No, I just
or
thought it
we're
was
not going to
dumb.
complain about the
I
fact that
thought it was fucking dumb that he did it.
in the
Like
first episode they're literally building
y'all
blast
being
these hand
extreme.
blasters
I'm just
out
saying
of
I
this
thought it
one
was
huge
dumb.
hand
I just
that's
thought it was dumb.
sitting under a sheet.
Hey,
Is that
hey,
what we're not going to talk about that either?
relax, Tom and Jerry. I'm just saying I didn't like that
I'm
part. I
just
thought it was
saying, like,
stupid.
when you
Mhm.
sit there and you be like, that's.
I'm
Uh,
not asking for realism. I just thought it was stupid.
right.
There you go.
Nice,
Right.
Esteban.
That's how they worked in '97.
I love you, Esteban. You can get away with that. I love you, dude. No
Right.
shit, Wes. Again, pay attention. I just thought it was dumb. I didn't expect it to be. Oh my
No,
fucking
that's the
god.
earlier comment.
Anyways,
Yeah.
so We
So
are gonna
yeah,
talk
man, I'm
about
telling you.
reboots, continuation, blah blah
Are
blah
we still?
blah.
I mean, it's like 10:35. So yeah.
Are
All
we
right, yeah.
wanting
Let's
to
get into
wrap?
our
I told you
second.
this X Men was gonna go for a bit.
Yeah, we
Like I
could
knew
get
we could
into
go
our
on for a
second
bit.
topic.
Um,
So
There's a second topic.
I don't even remember. No, it was talking about whether they should do
I
rebooks
would say
versus
so far
continuations.
this has been a. I mean, we're only 2 episodes in. It has been a successful continuation
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
of of the original series, right?
Yes.
way better
Um,
than What is it? Revelations
Now
or whatever.
we've had
Rev-
other continuations that have popped up over the last couple of years of very old franchises. Um, we had He-Man. Um,
Ah,
Now with He-Man, it's to me He-Man's a mixed bag. As bad as season one was of He-Man, was as good as season two was of He-Man.
But think
Um,
hold
of
on.
if
Which
they didn't
which
have
show
this
are we
two
talking? Which show are we talking about?
the
Revelations
one
and
on Netflix.
Revolutions. Hmm.
So we're talking about Masters of the Universe.
Yes,
Hmm.
yes, He-Man is Masters Universe. Yes, sir.
So imagine if they hadn't had to, like, if season one wasn't so bad that they had to waste part of season two fixing season one. Like,
I
imagine
don't
how
think they
amazing
wasted
season two.
any part fixing season two. They just went right into their new storyline, if you ask me.
Season two was
Um,
way better though.
Of course, a
so
1000% I'm in agreement on that. I'm just
You
saying I
know,
think it could have been even better if they didn't have to waste time fixing any of that.
I don't think they wasted any time. I don't want to I don't want us
Mm,
to concentrate on just talking about He-Man right now. Just the idea of so He-Man has had a remake, two
mm,
remakes now, with the other CGI Netflix show that they
mm.
did and the 2000X show, right?
2000X. Yep.
2000X I thought was a really good remake. Now we have a continuation. Ghostbusters has
real
done
quick, that
both.
2000X series is on Prime right now, so
Is it?
watch it on
I
Prime.
usually
With
watch it on YouTube.
with
The
commercials.
whole season's on YouTube, so
With
um,
commercials on it. So
Mm,
Ghostbusters, another example. They've
mm,
done both now, right? They
mhm.
tried the remake, which I think most of us can attest was not very good.
I haven't watched the whole thing.
Of the remake with the four girls, with the
Yeah,
four
with the
women.
poor girl, with
Yeah,
Melissa
no,
Yeah.
McCarthy and all them.
don't,
Yeah,
The best part is the very beginning. That's it.
don't.
I don't even
okay.
But now
remember,
they've
but I know I
done
didn't like it.
now they've done two
Continuations.
continuation movies. Like so now we got four movies for the original franchise, which I was a big fan of Afterlife. Haven't
Yeah,
seen the new one
I
yet.
like the Afterlife too.
I still haven't seen Afterlife yet.
You know,
Yeah, it was
Watch it.
really
It's
good.
on
I
where is
watched it
it?
on the plane ride,
I can't remember where it is now.
and I
But
was hooked. I was like, yeah, I gotta get this on digital.
I saw Ghostbusters Thursday night last night.
Mm,
How'd
It
you like it?
was
You gotta
I
talk
thought it,
about it, but you know,
I'm just gonna say I thought it was fine.
mm.
It
It was
didn't
good enough.
it
Mhm.
didn't grab me like Afterlife did. And I'm not talking like from a nostalgia perspective. It just this I think I'm just gonna I think I mentioned the E and like I don't want to spoil it from but I think this movie I think they tried a little too hard on this one. And it lost some of that magic as a result. Um,
Gotcha.
but it's not a bad movie. It's
Mm.
just it just didn't grab me like that other one did. Is all.
Top Gun had didn't do a reboot. They
Maverick.
did a continuation. Which I felt was a great movie.
Mm.
Dune, right? We have not had it's Dune has been a reboot of these
Twice,
first two
right?
movies. Of these two movies now are reboots, and people are loving them. You know, so I guess the question is, you know, what's the direction that when you're tackling these old properties, are we do you what works? Is it the reboot or is it the continuation? You know, like it's
Mm,
back and forth. There, West Ham, another example. The Voltron reboot on
mm.
Netflix was pretty good. You know,
See,
no
my
complaints.
response is it depends on how much that show meant to me when I was younger. 100%. That's my honest answer. If
Hmm.
it was a top tier show for me, I don't want you to reboot it, and I'm very cautious of a continuation of it. I would just kind of
yeah,
like it left alone just
Well,
do something else.
that's not.
But
Well,
I
we
know,
have
I
to
know,
play
I know.
if you had a choice. Like, what are
I
you
would
looking
rather a
for?
continuation. I would rather a reboot, like restart it, make it something different. I don't want you to mess up what I have such a high level of. Does that make sense? Like,
True.
Yeah,
we all know how I feel about Batman animated series. I'd rather them just make a new animated Batman series than
which they've
possibly
done. I mean, there
right
was
multiple times,
Beyond or
multiple
Bold.
times.
There's Batman Bold. They've done
They're
several
Brave and the Bold,
reboots.
and they had the
Yeah,
Man,
Batman. They've had
Beware the
plenty of
Bat.
them. Yeah,
Uh,
Beware the Bat. Like they've
and
had
Beware
plenty
the
of
Bat.
them.
I wish they had finished on that one, man. That was actually a good series.
That watching that Batman show you're talking about is the fucking Beast Wars of Batman cartoons. I will fuck
Oh
no.
my god. Well,
Which one?
That
you're not in,
trashy
you're
CGI
not
fake
helping your case
Batman.
here because Beast
Mm,
Wars was the shit to me.
yeah,
So
ugly ass shit. Ain't nobody talking. No barf. So with stuff like that, I would rather them just redo something, make another version of it, and leave animated the animated series alone because they've tried doing stuff off the animated series like recently. They have the Adventures Continue or something they call it. It's like an
New
online
Adventures.
thing. Yeah, like it's
Yeah.
some online thing. No, New Adventures was part of the old one because you had Batman and Robin and the New Adventures of Batman and Robin. The
Right.
new one is called the Adventures Continue or some crap like that. Like I've gotten
Oh,
some of the figures. I got some of the figures from. That's that weird Azrael that I showed you with like the beach ball shoulders. That's that series, and it's
oh,
online thing. And I don't know if it ever actually was fully animated or if it was more like pictures with a story told across it. I never watched it. I didn't want to. I didn't want anything to do with it. Um,
you
X
said what
Men.
was you can't remember the name of it though.
It's the I want to say it's the Adventures Continue, like Batman the animated series, the Adventure Continues, or some crap like that. It's like some weird long
Like I
weird
think
name.
that was the name of the comic series.
Maybe that's what
Just
it was. Like it was a
yeah,
comic,
yeah.
like a web comic series or something.
It was hard
Oh,
comic.
it was
Yeah, hard
a web
comic.
series. A web
Hmm.
series. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty
Yeah, it's
sure.
probably a
I'm pretty
web
sure I was
series.
jumping all around that little area. That's what I mean. It's something like that, and I just don't. I that I would be. I'd be more into reading a comic continuation than watching a show continuation
Yeah. Well,
of
there
it.
was a Batman comic called Batman Adventures, which I
Mm,
think was
yeah,
in that animated style.
but
The new Adventures animated style that is. Yeah.
it's
Um
yeah, West, no duh, like all that stuff. The Justice League and all that is considered one massive continuation. It's all part of the
well,
Tim.
I
You
think
say that,
I
but
think
Bruce
the
Tim has
term
said it's all the same.
I think the term is spin-offs.
Mm.
I think that's a better term for Batman Beyond and the Justice League series. They're more
Batman
spin-offs. They're more
Batman
they're
Beyond is a
spin-offs
direct
of,
continuation. It's the same
but
Bruce
it's
Wayne, just
but
older.
yeah, but it's a different
Mm.
direction. So it's like a spin-off of the first one. Justice League. It's all connected one world, but they're all like spin-off shows. You know, it's like if you made I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example here, but I consider them more spin-offs. So when you got a spin-off, it is the same universe. It is all connected, but it's a different name. It's and you're focusing on different characters now. It's usually more of a spin-off of it, you know, which
Agreed.
is
That's
fine.
wrong on that last one.
It's a great you know, it was a great universe that they did.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you know,
So that's my
what do you
answer is it
prefer?
depends on how much I loved it. Like if it's something that I was just, I like that show. Man, do whatever you want to it. But if it's
You know,
something I loved,
Frank,
reboot, do your own thing.
where are you on all this?
um I I
One
I
second.
am not a fan of typical reboots and continuations anymore. I mean, a lot of the stuff that we've experienced as kids, whether it be like kiddie franchises versus like semi-adult franchises like Starsky and Hutch, dude, Hollywood just made a mockery of a lot of that stuff in the theater. And fuck you guys, for doing that. Seriously. Treat it seriously and you got to hit like they did with like, say when they came back around for Ghostbusters as an example. Um, or
Top
even like
Gun.
the Voltron stuff we talked about, the Top Gun stuff. Well, another one that probably will hardly ever get mentioned, but did you guys watch that Dark Crystal thing? It was like a prequel to Dark Crystal on
I
Netflix.
tried.
I really enjoyed that for some
I
reason.
didn't.
I'm not
It
even
was
a
No,
huge
that's
I
fan of the
didn't.
original.
I
no.
didn't.
yeah. Yeah, I was
Um,
talking about Dune earlier. I fell asleep on the original Dune. Fell asleep on this remake of Dune, and I haven't watched the second Dune yet. I don't
Me
know if I
too,
am
Derek.
gonna watch it.
I'm gonna make an effort this Sunday to make it through that first iteration of this new Dunes
Yeah,
movie,
Didn't they also have
and
like a
then next
Dune?
week I want to go see
each
the
time we
movie.
tried to watch that, I was in
I
the
fell
room.
asleep a couple times myself.
Didn't they have the
Yeah,
Dune TV series like in the 80s or some crap that was
I
like
don't
a
know.
continuation of the movie or
I don't
something?
know. I don't know.
I
I've
have
never
no
been a
idea.
big Dune fan, so I
I've
mean, I
never been a
watched the
Dune
original
fan.
movies when I was very young, but that was it. I enjoyed the first one. It's very slow paced. It's a lot of building up. Second one should be to have more entertainment for people.
Yeah,
Um,
I know Scott was very into the Dune
yeah,
series.
Scott's been a big Scott's
He's
been
been
a
a big
huge
Dune fan,
promoter
and shout out to
of
him.
those.
But I just couldn't get into it. I was just like, yo,
Yeah,
I
you
woke
know,
up and the room was black. I was like,
yeah,
yo, this TV was off. I was like, I guess I'll try to watch it again some other time. And why I literally tried to watch it again and fell asleep again. And I was
yeah.
continuing from the part I felt like I fell asleep on, and then was trying to still watch it. I was like, no, this ain't it for me.
And I know the DC movies get a bad rap and stuff, but I think for the most part, I think the stories are just kind of garbage, but they aren't making a mockery of the characters. Maybe Aquaman, but
Mhm.
yeah, I mean all the Batman stuff that's come out past Batman and Robin, right, has been actually pretty good. Um, I thought the Superman Man of Steel stuff and I got no problems. And I got even no problems with Superman Returns. I actually like that movie a lot.
So did I.
Um,
So did I. I didn't have
so
a problem with it. I thought Brandon Roof definitely had some Christopher Reeves vibes going on.
oh, he basically mimicked that
Oh
performance,
yeah,
and
Yeah.
I thought that was incredible that he did that.
Hmm.
Yeah. But like, what's some of the recent stuff, right? I mean, obviously we could go down the Star Wars rabbit hole. I mean, it's just
Well,
oof, you know.
let me ask
But
you a
it's like,
question. Is that a mistake they made? Should they have rebooted Star Wars when Disney got it instead of continuing what they have done? And this is what I thought about that
yes,
I
they
want
should
to
have
lead
rebooted
into.
it.
You would have preferred a reboot at the time. All right. Let's try to not. I know we're playing like Monday Morning Quarterback now. After what we've gotten, but when Disney announced that they were buying it, what were your thoughts? And did you were like, oh, we're excited if they were continuing it, or did you want them to just reboot everything at the time?
I would have been perfectly happy without a continuation.
Really?
I did not need to see Luke and Han and Leia 40 years. How many years later was that?
Mm-hmm.
Long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Almost 40
Like, dude,
years.
I would have much preferred to get their story directly after Return of the Jedi in some kind of animated series. But I did not need to see them as old fogies on screen. I
Mm.
really didn't, you know. Um, yeah, just start somewhere brand new in the timeline, and
That's it. Just
yeah,
away from the
yeah,
Skywalker
would
stuff.
have been
Just get
fine.
away from.
Well,
Yeah, would have
that
been.
would still be a continuation. Like when I'm talking reboot, you're talking rebooting the entire franchise, new actors, new characters, different
Do you
world. It
do
is
you,
no longer
do you think
connected.
do you, what do you mean like start square one and
Start
recat
square one,
and
brand
like
new. You were
all right, so not recasting and doing the
Yeah,
whole
pretty
story over
much.
again, or do
well,
you mean
I
a
mean,
whole
even if
different
you did
story?
4, 5, 6 over again, you reboot it. Like it's rebooted. Like it's not connected. There is zero connection to what we already had. Like the Acolyte that's coming out right now. This is 1,000 years but it's
Uh-oh.
still a
You froze up.
continuation to
You
the
froze
same
up
thing.
after Acolyte. What did
Right.
you say?
Sorry,
You said
it's still
Acolyte
the
and then
same.
froze.
It's part of the same universe though, so it's still all connected. Like
But
a
it's not.
reboot is
But I don't think it's considered a continuation. It's like what you were talking about with
it's a
Justice League. It's
prequel,
more.
but it's a
Yeah, it's more
prequel.
like.
It doesn't matter, but
It
it's still the
depends if
same
they
thing.
tie it into anything that
But it
exists
is
now.
part. But it's still part of the same universe storyline that we've gotten, whether you want to call it Star Wars 616, like you have MCU 616.
But
It
then it
is
becomes like
part
what you
of all
said
that.
about Justice League Unlimited and all that. It's not.
Yeah.
It's a spin off more than it
Well,
is a
that's what they but
continuation or a
they're all
reboot.
connected. Like when a reboot is not a spin-off. A reboot is a
Start
complete
over.
start over to your universe. You know, and that's what I'm asking. Like, would you prefer a complete start over? You know, even if you bring in Han back in your thing, it's a new Han, it's a new Leia, it's a new Luke. Recasting, rebooting, like
Mm-mm.
perfect. Like Roadhouse is a reboot.
Barf.
You know, that's a reboot. You try, and you that yeah,
All
that's kind
right,
of where I'm
look.
going with this at
All
this
right,
point.
so I say don't reboot Star Wars. Create spin-offs.
Yes, away
Which is what
from
they've
the
been
main.
doing.
Yeah.
But further away from this. Like even most of their spin-offs are still staying like right in the neighborhood of what already
So
exists.
the
Get further away.
the
Hmm.
problem is you could consider the sequels. They're more of a continuation, not a spin-off, I
Hmm.
guess, because they use
Hmm.
the
Yeah,
same characters.
Hmm.
But
that's 1 through 9.
the problem with the actual spin-offs, meaning like Mando, Ahsoka, Bad
Andor.
Batch,
Hmm.
um, well, let's table Andor for a second. But those other ones, like
Hmm.
Boba, Mando, Bad Batch, Ahsoka, they're they're all tying in to the sequel trilogy time for the to explain how he
Palpatine
returned,
returns. Yeah.
right? But which is unfortunate, because if they didn't have to guide those stories in that direction, they would probably be much more interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
But
pigeonhole themselves into
yeah,
doing all this, unfortunately.
and Andor is just a super interesting experiment,
Amazing show.
right? Um, with it, with where we know where it's going, but we're excited to know how it
What?
got there.
Uh-huh.
Even though we've seen Rebels and stuff like that, but it's like we're it's exciting to know what leads up now. What no longer what leads up to Episode 4, but what leads up to Rogue One. I
Hmm.
mean, it's like the it's it's like, but Cassian Andor, what adventures he has in this next season, it's like no matter what kind of turmoil they put him
Hmm.
through, we know he survives, which is
Hmm.
it's a kind of nice thing to know, but
You also know how it ends, which is depressing. So even all
yeah,
the good stuff that's happening to him along the way, you're like, well,
exactly.
in another 3 years, that shit ain't gonna matter. you know,
Yeah.
he could win the lotto beginning of the next season. You're like, well, you better spend it fast because we know what happens when you go to what is it, Scarif.
Yeah.
you
Well,
better
you
get
know
it out of
what's
your system.
interesting too is, we've seen with some of these shows, things like Game of Thrones, for instance, it's hard to close, even Sopranos, right? It's hard to close a good series. So at least with Andor, they don't have to worry about closing. It's like the end is already done. Just have fun getting us there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I'm around Robin. This question for you guys: you had to pick one show, reboot to be rebooted or continued. One show, one series, one franchise, whatever it is. What would it be? Ricky. I mean, you're not up top. Nope.
Um, Somebody said it in the comments, and I'm gonna what do you call it, editorialize my answer. It depends on how well this X-Men 97 goes. If it goes well, I think it was Esteban, like a Spider-Man 98, like a continuation of the animated series. If they can make this work out well with X-Men, so I know they're not going to ruin it, I'd go for that. I'd be in
Yeah,
for that one.
exactly. And that's a good one, Ricky
Hmm.
slash Esteban,
Hmm.
for saying that, because that movie has some loose ends. I mean,
Hmm.
excuse me, that series has some loose ends.
They went nuts trying to get
With
that
a
Clone Wars
specific
shit at
redhead
the end.
that we
Yeah.
don't know what happened, right?
Yeah. What happened to Mary
So
Jane?
yeah. So yeah, I'd like, and if they're gonna treat it like we just seen with this X-Men, that would be fantastic
Yeah,
too. Yeah,
I'd be down for that.
yeah. Um, I man, this is tough. I want to say something stupid like the A-Team. Like I know they made that movie,
I
They already tried
but
that in the movie.
The
I
movie was
enjoyed the
good
movie
though.
though. I enjoyed the
No,
movie.
yeah.
movie was really good.
I mean, I'd almost want to say Starcom, but not because I love the show, but I'd like to see the toys on the shelves again.
Yeah.
Um, that's a
Sky
little
Commanders.
selfish. Um, but so much of our stuff has been rebooted already
Yeah.
or redone. So, um,
Mask
yeah, yeah,
That was
dude,
actually gonna be my
redo
thing.
Mask and take out Scott and T-Bob, dude. You got to hit.
with modern stuff. Yeah.
Oh, with the modern cars, modern, uh, I don't know, societal implications of
Mm-hmm.
such and yeah, dude, that could work.
Think they can do a live action mass movie? Because they
No.
can do Transformers.
Yeah.
They can
It'd
do
be Fast
they
and
can
the Furious meets Bayverse. I'm all the way out on that
Yeah,
shit.
I'd be totally out on it.
I'm all the way out on that.
And
Well,
keep the damn theme song, would you? If you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
what would
Nice.
you want, Derek?
Bionic Six, hands down.
Bionic
Bionic
6.
Six, nice. That's a good one.
Yeah,
And you,
Bionic
what
Six.
you?
I would like them to re. I want to. There's no continuation to because it was an episodic show where it was like something different
Hmm.
on
Monster of
every
the
week.
Week type
So,
stuff. Yeah.
exactly, and but I would really like them to redo that show and actually tell it the way it needs to be told right now. You
So
know what
you
I
want
mean?
a reboot of the Bionic Six?
I want a reboot of the Bionic Six.
Got
Dude,
you.
Yes.
what about a reboot of Captain Planet and all he's doing is going around saying, I told you
Uh,
so.
I
I
told you.
told you
No,
so. I told you
I just
so.
want the Don Cheadle Captain Planet.
right. I
I
was
don't
going to
care
say that.
about the rest
I
stuff. That
want
is,
that Captain.
I
If
want
they do
that
that
Captain Planet.
Captain Planet,
Yeah,
I'm
you're a
all
tree,
in.
and you're a tree, and you're a tree. I want that Captain Planet. Like I want that one.
So
So what
for
about you, Jay?
me, they gave
Jay?
me one of them already with Motu, right? Twice now, right? Um, and when it comes to remakes, what I would like a reboot of also, I would love to see, especially with the hype of GI Joe, a new GI Joe cartoon coming to Netflix or Amazon Prime, one of those.
Like real American
Um,
hero GI Joe?
it doesn't matter, just a reboot. I mean, if you've ever watched Resolute
Hmm.
or
That was
Renegades,
good.
those were
Renegades was
really
good.
good. Like I would
Yeah.
love to see a new GI Joe come back. And as far as the continuation, I'm gonna probably get some slack for this. I'd love to see G1 Transformers come back as a continuation.
Just modernized, yeah.
You
Just
know,
like they're doing with this X-Men
erase
7. Hmm.
erase season 4,
Hmm.
act like it never happened, and go from the end of season 3. Prime's back.
I was gonna say if you go back a
Move
little
on.
further, we can get Hot Rod out of the story too. Just
No,
like
no, it's fine.
continue from
It is
season
what it
two.
is. It is what it is.
or rewrite the movie.
Yeah.
That
But
that
Right.
that
Jay
would that those would be the ones for me.
Jay just brought up a good one. Continue that rebooted Thundercats that came out a few years ago that had a one
That was
great
That
season
that
that
and
was
was a
just
good
cool.
season, yeah.
disappeared.
That was actually getting good too.
No.
You know.
And
Yeah. Let's go in the
also
comments.
Wolverine and X-Men was another one that pissed me
Yeah.
off. Had one season, um,
Yeah.
and I was looking forward to season 2, and never happened.
Mhm.
Yeah, because that's when they were going into because
Age of
Xavier
Apocalypse.
was going into Age of Apocalypse on that one. And I said, yo, I can't wait till the next season. And they never came out with it. Tron Uprising was another one that got cut short early. But that was
Mhm.
Tron Uprising was another show that got, was a casualty of the writer's strike back in the day.
I think one of the
So
cool things, like we're talking about, like these reboots, like we mentioned Mask earlier, we mentioned like Thundercats, GI Joe. The one that just popped in my head, of course, y'all know has been on my mind has been Silverhawks. Is all these reboots would be recreating something that we loved, where it's not being used as a toy commercial. It would be like modernization because of laws and stuff. It can't be a toy commercial, so it has
yeah,
to be a little more serious. It actually has to have a story more than the stuff when we were watching with kids. I was just go buy this toy,
Um,
go buy that toy, go buy this. Oh, there's a new guy. He's got a toy, that toy, that toy. Like, so I would like something like that. Like, I think these are great ideas to reboot some of those
well,
older
well,
ones, especially.
you hope with what we've now seen from, and again, we're only 2 episodes in. It could shit the bed the rest of the way.
That's why I said
Um,
hope.
Well,
X-Men has started off really well, and that's how you would want it done with other properties when they do
Mhm.
this. Second season of He-Man showed you it can be done when they made their course correction. Listen to what the fans of these original properties wanted, because they're the ones who are going to watch it. When you're bringing back something from 1980, whatever, my kids don't know who the fuck He-Man is.
Yeah.
You know, your target audience really is, yeah, it's going to be us.
Yeah.
You do it
And once
right,
we're done with it, who are
it
you
can be
selling it to at that
successful.
point? Like who's watching it after we're done with it? I mean, man.
West
I
put
know
up
that
another one.
y'all say that exposition is to help the new people, but really, who's watching it if it's not us or us having our kids
Hopefully it
watch
gets
it?
better. Hopefully it
You
gets
know what I
better.
mean?
Yeah, West
I
put
hope
up
it keeps
another one.
going. Derek, I'm sorry, I stepped. You were trying to say something, man.
Oh no, I'm just saying West put up Static Shock because that was
Yeah,
another one. Static Shock dealt with social issues as well.
man, he brought that up like 25 minutes ago. You late?
Well, we were talking when we
Hey,
initially talked about reboots,
but I
but
wanted.
yeah,
We're gonna work towards wrapping up. We're pushing at an hour and 50 minutes. I did want to say, Jay, you earned back a little. You lost your damn mind with that X-Men theme, but you came back some with that Thundercats continuation. So I wanted to give you a shout on that one. But I wanted to tell Brink, thanks for coming out and hanging out with us. It's nice to have you just
yeah.
be able to hang out and not have to put in work or anything, and just
Yeah, it's nice.
not have to talk
Oh
about
God,
robots
is
and
it
stuff. We could just
what speed
hang
is
out.
that?
Everybody forgets Brink does more than robots. He likes other stuff, guys. Feel
I
free to
Right,
ask
I
him
would
about it.
man.
I would be pulling Robot News right now if I wasn't on here.
You're welcome. So on ETR on Monday, when he forgets to do his robots news, just be like, God damn RHP, look what y'all did. Your truncated robots news is our fault. You're welcome, people.
I don't think there's a lot anyway.
Yeah. But thank you for coming out and hanging out with us. I appreciate it. Um Derek, I'm always happy to hang out with you, bud.
Sir.
EE, I've been looking forward to this, man, because I saw, like, y'all joked about it at the beginning, when we first started the X-Men conversation. I saw in that conversation how it got quickly blown out of portion what you were actually saying about the show. So I was looking forward to seeing what you actually, like, you being able to explain it. Like, it really got spun out of control. Like, everybody, oh my god, he hates it. He thinks it's the worst thing. And I'm like, he didn't say that. Like, I'm at work, so I don't get the chance to interact as much. So I just read. So I get to read the whole
That's why the
conversation.
conversations are able to flow so well though when you're
Yeah.
at work.
Yeah. And that's also why they thought you were a big, huge asshole, because I wasn't standing up going, no, he's actually just saying blah, 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 blah. So you're welcome. But
Hey,
it was nice to be able to hear you talk it out. Like,
real quick, Ricky. Sorry, I meant to
you're
mention
good,
this in
bud.
my exit, but why does this guy, Scarlet Spider, have pouches on his ankles?
Because it was the 90s and everybody was trying to be like, what's his face? Um, Rob Liefeld.
Oh,
Pouches everywhere, bud. Pouches everywhere.
Oh
I guess he
yeah.
needs change for the phone or something. I
Maybe
don't know.
it's
Or it
his
could be
metro.
a
He keeps his
or,
metro card in there.
or it could be an ankle monitor. You never
That's
know.
it.
It's like,
Maybe.
It could be that too. So we're gonna go around real quick. So everybody, where they can find you, Brink, tell
At
them.
Brinkalizer on Instagram. Tune in Monday night for ETR. And then we got every other Wednesday alternating Shelf Gravy and
Figure banging.
Figure Banging. Right. Shelf Gravy's up this week. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
All right, and Derek, what about you, bud?
You can find your boy Derek B on your Book of Faces. You can also find me on Instagram as Derek What B. You can find me here every other Friday for the Realmhattan Project, and you can find me also on our pop up shows. Do you even transform, bro? Or right out of the box?
All right, and EE, what
Ricky.
about you, Mister Smiley?
You can find me here every other Friday
Awesome.
on the
Don't
RHP.
don't bother watching Roadhouse.
Yes, don't watch
Don't
Roadhouse.
do not.
Stay tuned for a
Hey,
hangout link
literally
after
getting ready to
this.
go watch it after I got off here. But
Thank you to
thanks,
everybody that came in the chat squad
thanks
tonight.
for the save, y'all.
Y'all
Because
were
I
very
had the
active.
feeling about that anyway,
Mhm.
So I was like, this movie's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. If it's anything like the second one, it's going to be terrible. So thanks for the save, y'all. Appreciate
We appreciate everybody that was in the chat squad tonight, even those with terrible comments like that X-Men theme song not being good. Jay, you're never gonna outlive that one, bud. Oh
Ricky, where
crap.
can we find you?
Here, thank you. Every other Friday you can find me here. Used to be you could find me in group messengers, but not so much. Other than that, work in the baseball field and in the Facebook groups. That's it. Hey, and Vader just entered the chat. Yeah, I don't know if y'all saw that.
it.
Yeah, I'm ignoring him.
So again, shout out to everybody that was over there, everybody except for Dom, who literally slipped in the last 10 seconds, act like he's supporting us.
Yeah, thanks for coming
um
through, y'all.
we got a unaired broadcast hangout thing EE's gonna put out for
Hmm.
everybody. Just come in, shoot the breeze. If you want to be on there, it's not gonna be live recorded or anything. We're just gonna hang out, talk, nerd out some more. And I appreciate y'all. I guess we'll see y'all in a couple weeks. Shout out to Gort and Wolfie. Miss you guys. See you on the next one.
Say it with me now.
Realmhattan.